Please note the views and opinions expressed by the hosts on this show are not necessarily the views held by the station.
You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now it's our turn.
Oh, darn. Andy Jesus left the room. Just before the truth. Good thing. Well, I did put the warning out. All right. Welcome to Outside the Box Open Forum, Saturday night, also known as Katie's Bitch Rant of the Universe night. I kind of put that energy to it because, it's kind of where I like it to be sometimes. And, for anyone that still has any remnant of an ego, I assure you, after tonight, you will either stand or you will run. Because I'm tired of the children. I really am. I'm going to do exactly what that really cool cat, Jesus, said. One of my favorite quotes from a pretty cool teacher, along with a lot of other ones, Krishna, about it, and the rest of the team, I'll tell them the same message, just mankind's been too fucking stupid to hear it. So let me try this for you. You call me Lord, yet you will not do the things that I tell you to do. So let me allegorize that into, outside the box, open forum. You come to this table seeking truth, yet you will not do those things that I have done and ask you to do. Why you show up? I don't know. To me, that's an incredible waste of time on your part. It's never a waste of time on my part because my purpose is quite simple. Get the job done. Sorry, I just want to get the hell out of here. This game at this level is so absolutely putrid. Really, come on, think about it. Look around. Look at the existence that most people live in. They live for their day-to-day moments of being able to get to Wally Mart, right? Wall-E, the movie, wasn't called Wall-E for a reason, other than it was, a coincidence that, where I'm going. Yeah, and I tell you all the time, I don't shop Wall-E Mart, okay? You see what happened to the main characters in that. The humans. Never mind the cute little robot that figured it out. And the divine feminine, super advanced robot that, figured it out. So, tonight's going to be a little bit different. Well, no, it's not. But it will be because I've gotten extremely intolerant of, here's the movie as I see it. And it is. It's just a movie, and it's my movie that I'm watching, your movie that you're watching, and we're all watching our own version of the same movie from different perspectives. And in this movie we have both heroes or heroines and villains. Well, you can't have a movie without the good guys and the bad guys. It's kind of a dull, boring, plot line. If you're kind of wondering why Hollywood focuses on that, well, it's because it's such an alluring thing, because that's how the universe is built. We have the equal and opposite, and it has to be equal and opposite in both sides of it. Otherwise, you can't have contrast, and you can't have a game, and everyone's stuck in the contrast. Time to adjust your contrast a little bit, picture in a whole lot clearer. And the thing about contrast is you can actually wind it all the way up where the screen goes white, or wind it all the way down the screen goes black. See the allegory? That's why I talk about ego and spot the contrast. Today I got to tell you on the way back, I put some serious intent into it. Which, when I get my own space, when I get my own, no interference from anything or anyone around me. Magic happens. So this is one of the reasons why putting out energies the way I have been on air could be so much better. But that being said, I'm just working my way through and dealing with what I have to deal with, and seeing it for what it is, distraction. People either being the hero or the villain, doesn't matter to me either way. It's just up to me to observe which role they're playing, and whether or not I want them in my movie anymore. And I'll tell you, I'm tired of the villain, so I don't want them in my movie anymore. So I think that's a good choice. I think that's a very good choice. you know. But I'll tell you, on the way back here, great afternoon, Vicky, as always. That's what I mean. It's just a nice place to zone out, and that's an energy I can sit with. And she got her hair cut. Oh my God. I never thought I'd see the day, but anyway, it's gorgeous. Looks great on her. Didn't get it cut too short, but yeah, as soon as I saw her, I was like, oh my God, look at you. I don't think I've ever seen Vicky with her hair down. She always had it in a ponytail, so it was awesome. It was like, look at you, snap, crackle, pop, girlfriend. Anyway, so we had a good afternoon, and I tell you, right now I'm riding the allegorical wave of Lana Wachowski being an allegorical mirror for me. All of a sudden you've got, bear with me, guys. All of a sudden, well, here, let me preface this for you. When you go through, decades, 4+ decades of being in a complete and utter war with yourself. If you haven't seen the Lana Wachowski speech, I would urge you to go just put that in YouTube. Lana Wachowski, Wachowski brothers. Well, not anymore. Hasn't been for a very long time. Just see, here's the thing: the now moments are coming into view. The creations that have been placed and planted, and the seeds that have been put there. We're starting to see the harvest of them. At least I am, and I lost count of the number of times the universe was going. I'd ask, just put the antenna out, and blam, 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 one after the other. It's like confirm. No name truck flies by. That happened today, again. Just a coincidence, though. It's incredible. In fact, as was confirmed by Universe, and of course a lot of other things that tied into things today. I just wish I could, show you the movie that I, shot today mentally, and you'd go, oh my me, or shorten it down to well, ye are gods, right? God is light, ye are gods. See if your tricky little bastard, aka ego, can make the logic work on that one. It's pretty straightforward. So there you go. Anyway, I had beyond absolute confirmation that everything that I've been digging for is absolute. The game is uncovered completely. All you got to do is stand in it now. That's it. That's why, here it is. Oh, again, the disclaimer. If you can't handle the truth, what the hell are you doing listening to me? If you can't handle the truth, here's the problem with us and when we sit around this table. You take full responsibility for your choices, okay? And I guarantee you, at least once per evening, you will get an epiphany. You will get an aha moment, and that's truth resonating with you. And if you get one of those, and you fully grasp it, well, that's what aha moments are, fully grasped, and you go, oh my me, look at that. Here's the joy and the problem, because it's both, they're equal. You now have full, absolute responsibility for standing in it, or the only other option, refusing to stand in it and denying it. And I assure you, you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. You just have to choose which damn do you want. Do you want to damn your physical or damn your spiritual? And damn, look at the word, right? Do you want to block it? Do you want to put a wall up, Humpty, so that the waters of truth can't get past, right? So what we need to do is become dam busters. It's your call. I can't do it for you. I did mine. And go ahead, ask me if I would do anything differently. And you will only hear a resounding, not a chance. Not a chance. Oh yeah, it hurt deep. It cut me to the very core of everything that I was and ever thought I was. And of course, standing there as a two-spirit in total terror of myself, I'll give you perspective. I will share with you what it feels like to be spending your entire life thinking you're a freak. thinking there's something desperately wrong with you, and you're going out of your way in this physical illusion to try to prove that you're some sort of psycho, that there's something mentally and emotionally and spiritually wrong with you. And that's what you get if you deny yourself. You know, it's like even some people, very close people, as a matter of fact, one was here the other day, still hasn't got it through their skull, because they can't get past their ego, right? That I'm actually female. You know, I'm not sure what gives it away. Maybe it's the skirts and hairstyle and tops and the fact that that's my name that I call myself. It's not a given name. I don't give it to anybody. It's a customary calling, and it's something I use only for reference. It's not registered, never will be. You know, they can assume and presume all they want, because the simple truth is there's some serious shit going to be flying at them in a most loving way, you see. Because if things are to be balanced out, the one that intended the crime in the first place has to come clean. And if they don't, well, they're damning themselves, aren't they? It's got nothing to do with me anymore. It goes right back to the whole idea when people ask me, well, what kind of response did you get, Kate? I don't fucking care what kind of response I get. Sorry, I make the law because I stand in truth, unconditional love. Or would you rather one of the judges and politicians that you like to vote into power and somehow think constitutions and confederations and all that rest of that fucking garbage actually means anything? And it's up to you. I'll tell you. Here's a little ironic for you. If I was to run for office, and I don't know, Pope Francis was to run for office, who would you pick? Right. And that's an observational. That's all that is. Again, you continue to worship outside of yourself in terms of the system and looking for others to lead you, you are lost. No. Those that are standing with me are standing with me, shoulder to shoulder, completely equal, completely level, where none is master and none are slaves. And nothing else will be tolerated. You come to my table, you come as an equal. If you want to start building pedestals and whatever the case may be, I could go on. You wouldn't believe it just went through my mind there. But you want to come building pedestals, well, I assure you, I or someone at the table will take a chainsaw to you. I promise. I don't stand alone any longer. I haven't for a while, and it's a glorious thing. It's been a long road, but we got here. So take the win. Take the win. I'll tell you something. I'm going to hand you the compliment of compliments, my friends, and that's exactly what you are. You are the pride of the universe, and I mean that in a very neutral way. You came to this table, and whether you stay is your choice or not. I will do my damnedest to either build such a desire for truth in you that you cannot help but be at it, or I will build such a wall of distaste because your ego can't handle the truth and needs to run. Both works for me. Because I love you, unconditionally. You choose your path, you choose your walk. I don't, that's yours. The only free will choice you have is which path are you going to take. But beyond that, there is no free will choice in the universe. This game is already written. And it's got the director's cut with alternate endings. And how you choose to end your game or continue playing it ad nauseum, ad infinitum is entirely up to you. Excuse me. You're at the junction of the train where there is a Y. One of them, if you maintain it and don't bother touching it, will loop you back into the same circle. And you will come back around, and if you still don't change the tracks, you will go around in the circle again. And this will go on and on and on until you've had enough, until you've been beaten down enough. And that's your call. If you want to play, I love you. Like, you knock yourself out. I'm done. That's all I'm saying. If you're done, well, I can. Well, I've already showing you. It's up to you whether you want to stand in it or not. And I'll reinforce that some more time. Or you can go, signal the switchman. There's that Matrix thing again, switch, right? Is that a guy or a girl? Well, she's both, actually. That's why she was the only one dressed in white. And I had to kill her first, right? I had to kill the biggest clue of all. And it just so happens that Lana Wachowski, one of the former Wachowski brothers, it is now just the Wachowskis, was part and parcel in the creation of that movie, directing it, screenplay, writing, which I thought was, for me, one of the biggest triumphs I have yet witnessed in my own walk. It's a vindication of vindications. It was one of my, and I say this with complete humility, it's more out of relief. I told you so. And what I want to offer you as the gift of gifts and the gifts that you've given me is you need to know just how absolutely stunningly beautiful you are. I've seen you all along. And I have pained day after day, pretty much my whole life, looking at people, asking myself, why? Why do they do that? And of course I get caught in the quagmire of it as well, where I end up asking myself, why? Why did I do that? These things that I would never do again. But I have the contrast. There's no guilt in contrast. There is learning or ignorance. And how you choose to stand in that is entirely up to yourself. You see, this is the problem with guilt. If one is guilty, then one hasn't learned the lesson yet. This is one of the reasons why guilt is such a powerful tool and why the Catholic Church insists on it. That's why they make you go to confession, to confess all your sins, because you are a guilty motherfucker. That's why they do it, to reinforce the guilt program where there is none. There is only contrast. You see, and then they give you the outside illusion that somehow you need this funny-looking character that loves to fuck children sitting behind a window in a holier-than-thou raiment, sacrament, if you will, sacrament, who has the audacity and the absolute arrogance to fucking judge you, to say, give me 4 Hail Marys and 3 rosaries and you're good to go. By the way, don't forget to leave empty your purse or your wallet into the dish on the way out because I've got a new Jaguar on order. Is this what you worship? Is this the realm that you seek to be a part of? And the only one holding it in place is you and me. Oh, I kind of doing my best to take the chains to it. So, and I know a lot of you listening are doing the same as well. And there are a lot of you that I never hear from that are tuned in, because I know we typically have averaging between 12 and 20,000 people listening in every single night. So I know the word's getting out. And here's the other side of this beautiful coin. It's going to get out anyway because I am God. Jesus said so. So did Buddha. So did Krishna. So did Ahura Mazda, Zoroaster. All of the great teachers said so. The difference between me and most of the masses, and the difference between you and the awakened that are, and I hate using that to new age artsy fartsy whatever. You listened and you saw for yourself. See, you don't need to take my word for it, because here's the joy of being us, the U.S., the us. You see. As soon as a truth gets uncovered, whether it's you or I, it doesn't really matter either way. It's uncovered for all of us. And when we get these beautiful, postulates that we put out, absolute axioms, and they resonate, ding, 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 432 hertz, perfect A pitch, bang, there's your 528 hertz C, the note of love, and it resonates. And dear butterflies, dragonflies, and bees, those little wings that we like to flap, create tsunamis across the universe. We change the script. We change the movie. We alter the course of our own destiny, alter the course of reality. And for those that continue to worship this reality, well, enjoy it. Eventually, you will get tired of it, whether it's this lifetime or the next. Look forward to your meat stick drops. No, I'm good. Oh, there's one of my buddies here. I got to go in and get some treats. Here, hang on, bud. I'll be right back. Oh, I'm on the air still. I was talking to the squirrel. They're good little guys. They really are. And when I see them, I like to play. Besides, they're good friends. They're great energy to have around because when all else fails, I know they won't let me down. They'll come running for treats, so it's all good. Yeah, just like cops and whatever. It has been a very actually the ride home was probably the most profound part of my day today, and it was getting actually sickening the amount of information that was coming at me, where I thought it was quite funny, and I was laughing a fair bit. I just started shaking my head, and I'll tell you, Mrs. Doubtfire, yeah, she doesn't stand a chance. And thank you, Yvonne, so much for taking the time to transcribe that one little. Well, you put it together perfectly. I don't know if I said it in that order, but the transcribing that you did, of course, I posted on Facebook, was sheer brilliance. All right, where'd you go? Impatient. Anyway, well, I've got them ready for him anyway. Yeah, so thank you very much. It's on Facebook. By the way, if you want to get on my Facebook, well over 2,500 now. Woohoo! Just a whaling. You can get there at kate.rene.5. That's KATE.RENE.5. And what else? Oh, Skype, for those that wish to contact me on Skype, either through cyber surfing. I get a few of those. And, of course, I like to add them to the room. Because there have been a few that, just connected, and I wasn't sure, so I put them in the room, and of course they start asking the normal questions, and a few of them actually stuck around. Most of them left, but the few that, listen, when you show up at this table, you put up for a reason. The universe is trying to tell you something. The universe is saying, time to wake up. Oh, there's my buddy. Here you go. There you are. Good man. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Anyway, he's happy, big smiles. Yeah, so, and when people do hang out, I love that. Because something clicked with them. And, of course, people that want to connect with me, of course, the mail. Of course, my first reaction is it really me you want to contact? Yeah, I am a woman, but probably not one that might suit your needs at this point in your life. Not yet anyway. A few repairs to make. We'll sort that out eventually. But that being said, I just love to see when people show up, because in my heart I know why. They may not be fully aware of it at that point, but then not everyone's trusting their now moments, are they? Not everyone's deciding to be in the now and seeing things for what really is and what they really are, from a present, asking the universe perspective and actually trusting yourself. And there we go back to the whole guilt thing, right? As soon as you have enough guilt built in you, that doubt program is deeply embedded, and effectively you doubt everything that you ever do. It's a wonder that based on this program, most people aren't terrified just to get out of bed every day. That's the funny part. But one sec, let me just check in the room here. Yes, Andy. I don't know if you're tuned in or not. That's the... See, here's the thing, and there is a reason why Love and Stuff was set up, because as much as I love everyone, and I would love to spend all the time in the world dealing with them, one-on-one. Sorry, guys. Everyone is equal at my table, and there are just too many. And I love saying that. There's just too many. So this is why I have this table, and if you want to come at any time, please. And, oh, by the way, it is open forum. I'm not really going to get into anything specific other than, wake up and make your choice. Make your choice, which road. And be ready to stand in it at whatever cost. That's the deal you got to make. If you want freedom, don't tell me you want freedom and then start putting terms on it. You see, that's expectations. That's ego. I'll tell you, when I made my deal, I did have expectations. That things would have turned out a little differently. But I was committed to it, regardless. I wouldn't say I had expectations. Probably more accurate to say I had hopes. And of course, hope, as Sue so eloquently put, hope is for the ill-prepared. So hope all along if you want. I choose otherwise. I simply do now, and that's all there is to it. Well, there are the birds. Yep. Oh wow. It's amazing to see a bird that size pick up I've actually got they're plain like cookies, and they're just grabbing them in big chunks, and like a little tiny sparrow grabs them half its size, and it goes, whoa, strong. Well, there's the thing, right? Oh, sorry, just read Nav's comment. So listen, let me open it up, guys, because let's put this thing on fire tonight. Now, if you don't know how to open up your dial pad in, Skype, all you got to do is put your mouse up over where you're listening through Skype. The bar that opens up, you'll see a plus sign. Just click on that, and then there's another menu comes up, and you just have to write or click on Open Dial Pad or Show Dial Pad, and then you hit 1. And that'll show you on the board. If you're a landline calling in or cell phone or whatever, all you need to do is hit 1 on your keypad, and it will let me know that you would love to join in at this table. And I really wish you would. One of the things that I was saying last night, excuse me, is it actually becomes where you are literally interviewing me. One other thing that I do want to stress, because this happens a lot, it generally happens with people that I've had one-on-one conversations with on Skype and whatever, and yes, this is a phone call. That's all this is. The analogy there is to, if people are nervous, just to treat it as such. But it is also a radio show. And one of the things that drives me batty is interrupted speech, whether from mine or yours, right? And it's very easy to talk like you're talking on a phone and but the problem with Skype, especially, and that's how I'm in on the board, there's a bit of a delay, and you end up stepping all over everybody. So what I need people to do is wait for the statement to finish in your ears before you start talking. All right? If I get a lot of that, it is extremely disruptive. And I'm not talking just for me. It's for everybody. If you cannot space yourself, then I will mute. Because it goes nowhere. It drives me batty. And I know it drives the listeners batty. I do get some feedback on it. So just to let you guys know, it is an open forum. If you do wish to speak, say your piece, finish your idea, and let others finish theirs as well. We don't need all the details. If you're trying to tell us that you're going to the store for milk, that's pretty much all I want to hear. I don't need to hear that, and I bumped into so-and-so, and we talked about their new hairstyle, and then we went over to, and then, of course, I looked across the street, and I thought, I don't need all that. Okay? That's ego. That's Babylon. That's chatter. All right? I try to keep things straight to the chase here. And for me, that's all about breaking the chatter program, which will actually assist you in your meditation. Because until you can break it in the physical, actually, as you're doing it, you'll never break it in the mental. Promise. Excuse me. Breathing tea again. One second. Yeah, hopefully that's better. I do that all the time. Breathe tea or breathe spit, one of the two. Yeah, it's just I don't know. Maybe it's a Dominion thing. I have no idea. So I will put that one out to others. And in the meantime, everyone is going, I'm not putting my hand up. Not a chance. Oh, come on, chicken shit. Bring it on. Oh, and if you actually can't find the button, just tag me in the room, and if I don't see it, I'm sure Ninja or Navjohn or somebody else will let me know. There we go, Ninja. See, Ninja knows how to do it. She's got her shit going. Ninja, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, Kate. How are you? You sound like you're good.
Mhm. Well, all things considered, and
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I know it's been a very profound day. It's just a coincidence that when I ask, a certain question, and of course, you know what I'm like with my radio. What album do I have in? The only one I listen to?
Sticks.
Greatest hits, yeah. So I thought, oh, okay. And of course, I don't have every track memorized where every line comes up, and I don't. I just go with the flow. So of course, as soon as I had a couple of confirmations outside of myself, you wouldn't believe the stuff I saw today. 2 fairy, 2 angels. Oh my God, license plates and trucks and logos and it was on and on. I turned the stereo up. Because I asked a question. I know the question. I don't need to share it. But I don't know. Is this a confirmation? If you turn the stereo up and the first line comes out of it, you're fooling yourself if you don't believe it. That sound maybe like a confirmation to you? I think it does. I howled. I absolutely howled. Yeah. So how's your day been?
It's been very, very interesting, actually. It's been a combination of emotional...
roller coaster?
No. Well, no, because that sounds a bit like you're out of control and...
Oh, no. That's... Okay,
A gentle awareness of... Yeah, contrasting emotions. Yeah.
Yeah, when I say roller coaster, that's kind of what I'm referring to. No, we're not on that the meat stick roller coaster. No, that one goes like all over the place. But what we're doing with our roller coaster is we're building it as we go. In the Green Lantern, when that helicopter was going to crash, and the Green Lantern, manifested a Hot Wheels track and put wheels on it, turned the helicopter into a Hot Wheels car, and was able to steer the track wherever he wanted. That's the allegory. This is what I'm talking about with track. There was a posting earlier. I don't know who did it. Maybe you can let me know. It was in the Love and Stuff room. Something about a plane crash in San Francisco and a train crash somewhere.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't click the links yet, but I saw that. That was special.
Yeah. So the first thing I thought of, well, I guess I have to watch planes, trains, and automobiles. Did anybody see anything about automobiles today? I just thought it was rather interesting. That's how I look at the world, by the way. I look for what's the universe telling me to do, so I follow it. Yeah. Oh, and guess which cards I flipped today?
Go on, tell me.
Well, I better go in and just so I have them right in front of me. These are the ones I flipped this morning, and it was interesting. It was King Mark, 4 of Shields, and 3 of Shields, the homespun tunic. So very, very low level, but I know what that means. Now, King Mark is very in the Arthurian story, anyway, the tarot that I have is a very outspoken. Here, let me just read the card to you guys, so you know. And just as a mental reminder for everyone, tomorrow night I will be doing spreads. I won't be doing full Celtic. I'll just be doing past, present, future, which I think is a whole lot. I can get a lot more people in, and without actually having, you know, let's just say it's going to be a lot quicker, and it's going to give you the same answers anyway. So anyway, here we go. This is the King of Shields. Oh no, actually, Four of Shields. Well, it's because it was King Mark. That's why I went there. Four of Shields. All right, Four of Shields. The meaning of the card is this: financial stability, expansion, building and development, opening one's doors to business, commercial endeavor, spending money on luxury items. Now, keep in mind the allegories here, guys. Don't take this literal. Basing one's identity on material possessions, ego, right? So these are clues to me. Hunger for power and influence. That's exactly the mirror that we need to look at. An ostentatious show of wealth. Ostentatious means if someone. It's funny that word comes up. That was an interesting word that stuck with me since my days of schooling in Ireland. Economics. And goods of ostentation are somebody gets the latest Jaguar XJS and their neighbor, because they want to do the one-up, they get the XJS Deluxe. That's what goods of the show of wealth of ostentation. Okay? So, and trying to buy the respect of others, acquiring possessions, a love of money, seeking prestige. Now King Mark is very extravagant. Now, if you can look at what I just said to you with removing the ego, this tells me a whole different story. Right? But I'm looking at the allegories of it. This is about infinite abundance for all. We're the creators, and we've had that taken from us. So now, Three of Shields, it's mirror. I always do a split and mirror the cards. This is what the mirror is, the homespun tunic. Skill and growth, making progress in one's vocation. Meaningful, constructive use of talents, pursuing a dream with the advice and cooperation of others, laying a foundation and gathering the material goods needed for future exploits. An increasing sense of identity and purpose. The card indicates the success of ventures being planned at this time. So when these two cards come together, they're actually the mirrors of each other. One is the physical and one is the spiritual. So when I saw that, I thought, oh yeah, okay. Well, I knew the cards when they come up, so it's these are my friends. But the interesting ones that I pulled this morning, in the Mayan cards. Thank you so much, Miranda. Oh my, these cards are just like, get out of the way. Here's the now. And what I probably will do is do a 3-card split with the Arthurian, which is past, present, future, and then I'll do a split of the Mayan. So that's the mirrors. And by the way, my Mayan sign is white solar mirror. And that for me makes total sense in why so many people that have come into my life have such a hard time being around me, because I am a blinding mirror. You know, whether that's good or bad in terms of how people see me is irrelevant, because the joy of it is, here I am in the mirror. If there's a piece of dog shit on the floor, I'm going to mirror the piece of dog shit. If there's a rose growing, I'm going to mirror that as well. You see, so it's neutral. I am just going to reflect. You want to throw dog shit on the mirror, well, expect that reflection. If you want to, throw rose petals at it, then expect that reflection. You see, my saying has been for a very long time, most of my life, as long as I can remember, is I will be your best friend or your worst fucking nightmare. You choose. I don't. I can't. That would be judgment, right? So anyway, the polarity was the first card, and it's mirror. Yeah, this one, I gotta tell you, it just blows my mind. It's just a coincidence. Isn't that right, Ninj? It's just coincidences, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Take no notice, just pretend it means nothing, and walk away.
All right. Well, let's see. People that have listened in on the shows for any length of time will be able to resonate whether this fits with me. Okay. So this is where you get to be the neutral observer of me as I present myself. And I do want to get back into some really profound teachings that people need to get, that the church has been so wonderful at screwing over. So here it is, polarity. And of course, my Mayan sign as well. The symbol for me is a solar mirror. My sign is duality 2, Kawak, which is storm. I think I live up to that one. Yeah, the duality storm. All right. So here's what 2 says, polarity. This is what I drew this morning before I went out the door. Or this afternoon, actually. Well, yeah, it was. It was a little afternoon when I did this. Anyway, so polarity. Look in the mirror. Who faces you on the other side? Qualities. The loom of reality, sacred twins, cooperation, relationship, polarity of male and female, duality, attachment and resistance. 2 is the ray of polarity, the sacred twins, smoky mirror and the clear reflection, all things in relationship. Polarity is the loom on which reality is strung, the magnetic dance of universal forces. Within the mirror of polarity, you will find the many faces of illusion, as well as ultimate freedom from illusion. Polarity reveals the conflicts, struggles, and the apparent separation created by your belief in duality. Be willing to examine your attractions, aversions, attachments, and resistances. These are appearances with the same root. When you resist by pulling away your awareness, the emotion produced is fearful, and the contraction is experienced as a pull, like magnetism. When you are attached, you are obviously focusing your awareness on a certain object, and the attraction is experienced like the pull of gravity. Either way, you are energetically contracted and pulled out of your own center, which creates barriers to perceiving what is. Discover the loom of reality that is intricately woven in relationship. Utilize the teachings that are held in the number 2. Polarized positions actually work in cooperative alliance. In cooperation, all polarities serve as backgrounds for full appreciation of one another and the whole. Examine the polarity of male and female within yourself. Explore your divine feminine and masculine aspects. Look for the gifts within your relationships. Investigate the polarities within them and explore the natural lines of force and growth they create. Remember, polarity is the pulse of universal source. Yeah, that might fit. Let me try the other one, see if this one works too. My sarcasm sucks.
I was just going to say, I can't imagine what that's got to do with you.
See, that's better sarcasm. Thank you.
Sacred
right.
twins, Gemini, male-female polarity, 2 spirit, hello.
Yeah, it might fit in, yeah. I was actually the first card I pulled out of this deck along with Realm Shift.
Oh.
You remember?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, and these cards only get shuffled 3 times per split. So, and that's the only way they will ever be shuffled. Trinity. I will only deal in the Trinity, so they're pure. I keep my cards pure. So I just got to find this card. Oh, did I go too far? Excuse me. I think it was right after the numbers. Or right before. I think it's right before, actually. Ah, yes, it was right before. Here we go. Now, for me, from what I've seen of this book so far, this next card I'm about to share with you is the card of cards. Oh, look, it just turned 7:11, 7:47. And I talk about flying the jumbo jet. Wonder why? 7:11. Yeah, they're not playing the game at all, are they? Really? When you stop and think about it. So guess which card I pulled today? I pulled the creme de la creme. How? And it was just a coincidence that as I was traveling along, looking in my rearview mirror, it was really neat because I saw a U-Haul in the mirror, and my oh my, did it ever look like a how? I would go, oh my, which I thought was pretty cool. So there you go. But anyway, the card is this. It's spelled A-H-A-U, pronunciation ahau. The common mind usage is Lord, Ruler, Flower. The qualities mean union, wholeness, unconditional love, solar mastery, consciousness, language of light, ecstasy, limitless bliss, crown, solar logos, and it goes on and on. I won't get into all the details of it, but this is the creme de la creme card, as far as I can tell anyway. So I'm just, now that the sun's down, I'm trying to get myself situated outside here so that I can enjoy the birds. I have been outside, bless you, but I haven't had a chance to actually set up my little table that I have set up all the time. So there you go. So we'll do that. We'll do that and that. One more walk. I can get plugged back in here. Oh, bless you. A little trivia for you guys, in case you were wondering why people say bless you. Well, it used to be believed. Well, when you sneeze, your complete body, for an instant, everything in it stops. You are technically and literally dead. So the whole idea behind saying bless you was that because you were dead, you were wide open to demons coming in, and for that instant, walk-ins. So people would say bless you, so that would not occur. Neat, eh? Things that you needed to know. So it's very difficult here. Then why don't I put that down? That way I've got two hands. I'm trying to hold a book, balance stuff on the computer, and got to find my mouse pad too. Now I'll read this card out to you guys. So I'm kind of giving you a bit of an insight as to what you can expect, for tomorrow. Where did I put my mouse pad? That's bizarre. I had it with me. Oh, it might be out in the car. And if it is, well, I've got a bit of a walk because I put it down at the arena. Anyway, no worries. I'll figure this out. All right. No, I don't know what I've done with it. Oh, well, no mouse pad. All good. Okay, one more little trip across the deck here, and then I should have probably put a song on while I did this, but I'd rather just talk to you guys. But when I read this to you guys, what I want you to visualize, okay, this is where I love absolutely annihilating the ego. Because what I draw for me, I draw for you. Neat, eh? And I say that because I know I get to be the mirror. And why, when people send notes and whatever, I just love being able to say mirror, mirror to them. Because I'm only telling them the truth. That which you have wished upon me is what you have wished upon yourself as a mirror. Told you were beautiful. It's not a need to be right either. So as I read this was the card I pulled. And when I do it, I know it's not just for me. Because I know I'm not just me. I am, but I'm also the co-created you. For those that don't understand that concept, let me share it with you again. This is why we are the co-creators of our reality, why we are the co-creators of each other, and why we got to stop with this nonsense of killing each other and getting angry and all the rest of it, because we're just, you're fooling yourself if you don't believe it. I promise. I am the net result. The consciousness that I am currently in is the direct and net result of every experience I've ever had throughout this game, however long it's went. Most specifically in this particular lifetime, in this particular awareness of now consciousness, which there only is now, so it's infinite. In both directions, isn't that neat? We can just choose to be wherever we want to be on that awareness scale. Now, see if my mouse will work. Oh, it does. Cool. reflective surface, so I'm really surprised. At least, well, reflective, but something solid there. Okay. Oh, where was it? I went back a page. Here we go. So the card Ahau. It's from the star glyphs section of the cards. And you know what star is? It's stir or divine feminine. So here we go. Let me tell you a story about you that I pulled from this deck today. You're co-created me as your reflection in a white solar mirror. And if you can, I would really urge you to just sit back, close your eyes. And I want you to be in this moment because I need you to see how incredibly, stunningly gorgeous creation you are. I know I'm helping to co-create. You help me, I'm going to help you. I think that's fair. See, there's no obligation either. We just do it because we can. So here it is. Ahau. The sun had a dream of the time of the sun of flowers, heaven on earth, divine children dancing in the golden octave of creation. Sojourner, come to the threshold of this new dawning. What a blessing to receive the star glyph, Ahau, child of the sun. You are solar consciousness, solar mind manifesting as the master with many names. You are the one who stands as the light to raise the consciousness for the many. You are the luminous triangle, the Trinity made visible in this world of creation. You lift humanity simply through your embodiment of the light. Know that you are divine I am presence. There is no other. Drawing Ahau calls into your life the healing power of unconditional love. Bask in its replenishing radiance. You are dawning its light of limitless bliss. Know yourself as divine. Know that you are already the mind of light. Return as a divine child of the sacred to the great central sun. In your every thought and action, radiate your I am presence. Unconditionally accept yourself as you are. Craft your light body and return to a home in the stars that you never really left. Using the current of Zavuya, the circuit by which all things return to themselves, experience mystical reunion with the Source Unity. Be at peace. Receiving Ahau indicates that the activation of your light body is already in progress. Stay identified with your solar mastery. Sail on golden solar currents to your home in the stars. Move joyfully forward toward whatever creates bliss and ecstasy for you. Forgive, release, and love all beings, all creation, as the unconditional, as the unconditional caress of the sun. Honor and trust the language of light held within your feelings, the spiritual compass that guides you home. Open your heart as a flower to the sun, and become the same love that holds universes together. I am Ahau. I am that I am. Inexhaustible supply of love, sourcing infinitely in all worlds, the seed of solar mastery, containing the stellar hologram of your return. I am the sun's love made visible as you. In ecstatic ascent I spread solar wings, awakening you in the immensity of a love that joins all things in the joyful dance of light. O Lux Corona, luminous Trinity made visible, simply identify with my light, my power, my wisdom, my love, and so accept yourself as I am unconditionally. To dance in the light of the great central sun, follow the ecstasy and bliss that I am as you. In divine fusion, we become the dove on its homeward journey. Feel the pulse of the language of light. Be the one who stands as the love, thus sounding the tone that ignites the consciousness of other yourselves. I am that I am. In this wisdom you already embody the light of 100 suns. Shine forth the truth, the power of your wholeness, child of the sun. I am Ahau, luminous diamond of pure solar consciousness. Let each facet of your being be crystal clear, reflecting the joy of love's perfect presence in beauty, joy, and power. I am the effulgent bliss of solar harmony, sweet serenade of the cosmic symphony to its source. I am the taste of love's ambrosial nectar, pouring forth through all of creation, as billions of stars forming the radiant body of the cosmic dancer, spinning universes through time and space. I am the revelation of truth, soaring at light speed within the elegant resonance of stillness. I am the garden of the heart's true delight, revealed within the splendor of solar consciousness. I am Ahau, the golden, ecstatic one. I am yourself. There is no other. So there you go. I'm going to toss on a tune and let you guys just absorb the moments. I need you to spend a little minute with yourselves, knowing and seeing how beautiful I've always seen you. I'll bring Mim in. She just opened the line, and then I'll play a song. But I just want you guys to sit back for a sec, and I'm going to play my signet ring. And by the way, it was pointed out to me, I believe it was Magnolia, I think it was, had pointed out that the Judge Bows to Sovereign video, I've said it many times, is 2 minutes and 34 seconds long. Put that in the mirror and you have perfect love pitch, 432. We'll be right back. I've never seen before my eyes this dream. I've never known what makes this child to see. Like tears from a mountain pouring gently to the sea, a curiosity. Will you dare to touch my soul? Is love so frail that we can't hope to be more than we are, more than our hearts can see? And if for any reason on this field of broken dreams we stand to lose it all, then for you, yes, I do it willingly. If this is our moment, captured in time, always to sustain, for lost in your eyes I find are the only means to remain. Searching relentlessly, just like a cloud, she chases the rain. We'll stand here firm, 'cause we are an island protected by love on this field of broken dreams. It's never clear, this path of destiny. That's why we're here, to find our need to be. Elusive as a rainbow, we can try to steal her gold, but she'll give it willingly. Will you dare to ask her though? We'll find a way, we must believe in us. There'll come a day, we'll soar, and when it does, the sky will have no boundaries. I will challenge every sea, I will never lose this dream. 'Cause for you, yes, I do it willingly. If this is our moment, captured in time, always to sustain,
For lost in your eyes I find are the only means to remain. Searching relentlessly, just like a cloud, she chases the rain. We'll stand here firm, 'cause we are an island protected by love on this field of broken dreams. On this field of broken dreams.
You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now it's our turn.
Well, you gotta love those buttons when they don't click when you want them to. Oh, if you could only see you as I see you. That's all I'm trying to show. Mim, how are you? And we have Joe as well. What's on your mind, Mim?
Oh my goodness. That song is just so perfect, and every time I hear it,
new meanings every time.
I'm just thinking, how I loved you describing that, and what you wrote. I've got to have a copy of that, and I hope you share it again. I want to say a how to everybody who might be listening. My goodness, what a frequency and what a message, you've shared already this evening. It's just beautiful, and I love the way that you are loving people. And I know that people are being filled in places that are needing to receive love in such a beautiful way. It's awesome.
Can I tell you my secret? Can I tell you my secret?
I know your secret.
My secret's really simple. There was this really cool cat written in a book, allegorically. And I go back to him because, fictional or real is irrelevant. It's the message, right? Never mind the messenger, the message.
Yes.
I listen to the Je suis Christos, the I am Christ. And what this beautiful teacher showed was this, and I'm just listening, and I'm thinking, that's pretty. that resonates with me. I can do that. I can do that, and I will do that. I choose that. And what he said was, "Do not worship me, be me." And I'm thinking, that's a pretty tall order, but you know what, JC, you're a pretty cool cat. You're the 13th warrior, buddy, and there's no point in chasing the second best. So if you're going to go run for the roses, well, I'm liking your bouquet, and I'm loving the scent that you're leaving behind, because I can follow that trail clear as day. That beautiful scent of roses will pass through a manure field, and you won't even notice this shit anymore.
Amen.
That's my
secret.
With you. That's my secret. I just listen.
I resonate with you on that.
It made sense.
And it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. And I think my particular brand of, well, we can call it radio if you want. Whatever you want to call what it is that I do, I have no idea. But I am very deliberately, and I always will be deliberately commoner. Regardless of station in life, this is my choice. I choose to take my guitar into and with and for and of and by the audience. Because without them, that song would never have come. I would never have the co-created purpose to do it, you see. So that's why this whole notion of copyright illusion or patent illusion or anything that you think you can claim as your own is a sheer fallacy. Look at the word fallacy. That's dick love. Mm-hmm. Phallus, C, right? C, the note of love, or that's why they have the, law of the sea, law of love. Is it unconditional, or are you putting terms on it? Can you dare to love me? instead of the little bits and pieces that you want to gnaw away at and cut away at to make your own, to claim as your own because that's what suits you? Or can you stand to take all of me? You know, you can steal my gold all day long, but I promise you this, I will give it to you anyway.
I know that this is true.
You know, that's the irony of it. That's the irony. It's like, why would anybody want to steal from me when I would give it to them freely? That is such a degraded way of... That's ego. That's all ego is. Ego needs to coattail. Ego needs to, you know, seek credit, to seek this, to seek that, to seek empowerment through the works and the embodiment of trying to be something outside of themselves, to be another instead of being the other in themselves.
Yes.
It's a perfect mirror, and we get caught in it. That's the smoke. That's the smoke and mirrors. All I'm doing right now is going, get out of the way. I want to see this. This is cool. This is a great movie. You know? So, not much of a bitch rant tonight. I'm sorry, guys. I know I set you up for this major, Kate's going to go off on a chainsaw roll. Maybe. Who knows? Still got time. Yeah.
Well, this is...
Go ahead.
This is being in the zone. This is being in the zone, and I'm with you. I'm with you in the flow, the mem, and I love it. And thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. You know. So I'm going to bring Joe in here. Before we do, I just want to. Here's my brand of doing my thing, right? Now compare this to any, you know, supposed minister or priest or whatever religious figure in a quote church setting, you know, churchianity, mosque, synagogue. I don't give a fuck what kind of building it is, but I'll tell you, when I stand at that, you know, that pulpit, which is like on the chair right beside you, you know, sitting eye to eye, I am going to speak completely open. I am going to give you a completely different brand of Sermon on the Mount. I'm going to give it to you square, I'm going to give it to you honest, and I'm going to use terms that probably ruffle some feathers. Because I'm not interested in a clean-kempt, beautiful coat all the time, because that's your illusion. What I want to do is ruffle the shit out of your feathers. I want to see if you've actually spread your wings ever in this lifetime. Because I'll tell you, when I ruffle your feathers and you open up your wings, if I see dust under them, well, gosh darn, I'm going to take the feather duster to it. And I'm going to be real busy about it because I want to see you fly. You know, a great analogy I saw the other day, and I'm going to get right to you, Joe, here, but I want to share this analogy because my moments of now consist of everything I fucking do. I don't care if it's walking to the kitchen, and I don't care if it's driving across the province. I am in my moment, right? So here's one of the moments of my now that I saw yesterday. I didn't like where the message was actually going because it was a guy talking about, you know, God from the completely wrong perspective, but I loved the analogy. And I wish this guy actually knew what he was saying. It was stunning. He was talking about the eagle and how it teaches the eaglet to fly. And I really, really resonated with this. What the eagle does, Mama Eagle, knows inherently when baby eaglet is ready to, has the ability to fly. And of course this eaglet has been sitting in this nest, comfy cozy, getting, you know, meals brought to it. Think of this in terms of humanity. And this is what we're dealing with our table here. So what this eaglet is doing is just sitting, oh, this is pretty cool. I got a nice comfy bed, you know, I got Mom, she comes over and cuddles me and takes care of me and brings me all sorts of neat stuff to eat. I can even shit in here and Mom doesn't care and I don't have to do anything and this is awesome. And then one day Mom comes down and says, you know, all right, out you get. And what Mom does, and you know that eagles, they don't build their nests on low perches. They build them, there's a reason for it, and I'm going to tell you why. They put them up on these high pedestals. Here's your allegory. Pay attention. Can you see it? On these super high pedestals. And, of course, there's the comfortable ego-lit. Oh, Kate, how did you do that? Yeah, pay attention. It's all there in the phonics. And what Mama does is she takes that ego and she fucking kicks it out of the nest. Right? And, of course, the eagle is going, what the hell is going on? I don't want to be spirit. Holy shit. And, of course, doesn't know how to flap its wings or anything, so it's kind of, what Mom does is, she's already taken off, and what she does is before the eaglet hits the ground, Mom flies under it and catches it. And the eaglet can grab onto Mom's back, and then, of course, Mom, up she goes. And the eaglet's going, oh, okay, this is cool. So this is getting a different perspective. Not flying on its own yet, but getting the perspective of flying. And this is what we're doing here. You may not be flying, but we're going to show you how to do this. So the eaglet is like, oh, this is great. Free ride, coattail, baby. Riding on Mom's back. This is awesome. But what Mom does is goes up about 3 or 4 times higher than where the eaglet fell from Grace. Oh, the allegories. So Mama Eagle instead of eaglet, right? Gets up to 200-300 feet. And what does she do? Whoa, upside down. Gives a little rattle, and of course the eaglet just can't hold on to this. So the eaglet falls, and of course it is still not knowing how to fly quite yet, but is starting to move its wings, in the panic. Like, oh my God, look at us! We've been flapping our wings for a long time. So we're look at nature; it will show you who you are. So just before it hits ground again, there's Mom again, because the eaglet still hasn't figured it out. And she will continue to do this, and she will climb higher and higher and higher until eventually Jonathan Livingston's seagull eagle flips over. The eaglet starts to fall, but has suddenly realized that, because the ground is so far below, it's an illusion. And the little eaglet starts to open its wings, not in such a panic, like the roller coaster. You go over the roller coaster the first couple of times, scares the shit out of you. Well, by about the 10th time, the roller coaster isn't quite as scary. And then you put, arms up, baby, hands up, and you almost want to jump out of the car because it's like going too slow for you now. And that's exactly what happens with the eaglet. It finds its wings in one brief epiphany moment where it spreads them and the wind catches it just right, and it goes, holy shit, I can fly. And of course Mama Bird comes down and goes, told you. What were you afraid of? I'll never let you fall, and Mama Universe will never let us fall. You just got to trust her. Because when you do fall, Mama Bird is going to be there, and she's going to pick you up. She's going to take you to even higher heights. And this is the allegory of my own life. I see it unfolding before me. And Mama Eagle had to get some serious freaking height for me. But boy, and I've said it before, the view from here is magnificent. And now my wings are open. And now this bird is flying.
I am so happy to hear that, Kate.
Well, that's for you.
Such good news. That's such good news. It's beautiful. And I thank you for sharing that story and giving that little piece of insight into, in the midst. I've been missing from the show the last 2 or 3 nights. I've had things going on, so, but I've missed being with you and hearing what you're sharing, and I'm in resonance with what you've shared today, and I'm happy to be here. I'm happy and I'm content, and I feel exactly like what you're saying. That I know this, that no matter what has been or will be, I am aware that we are creating this space. We have asked for this. We've given ourselves permission to have this, to have time, and that's. I'm in agreement with you. I would like to just encourage anyone who might be listening that might be feeling fearful and wondering, am I ever going to get where these people are talking about? Will I ever know and understand? I remember there was something else, another learning thing that I went through, and everyone was looking up to the teacher, and the teacher said, you look at me now and you think, how did he know that? Or, how does he know what to do? Or where's this coming from? Or, there was that sense of this person knew what he was talking about. But it just seems almost impossible that somebody who's just coming into that understanding could see himself ever being in that understanding and walking in that understanding. And he said, the day will come when you will walk in this, and this will be your own, and then there will be others, and they will look at you the same way that you're looking at me. And I know that it is an epiphany when you come into that realization that you want this time, and you can give yourself this space of time and just know and believe that there is enough time, and you will do the things that you were hoping to have a chance to experience and learn about. And it's all is well.
We only have infinity. So here's your choice. I just chose to be Mother Bird. I stopped being the eaglet. And I promise everyone I will never let you fall. Just be willing to fly. Be willing to get nudged out of the nest. Dare to fall. Just far enough for universe to grab a hold of you. And that's our choice. Are we the eaglet or the eaglet? Or are we Mother Eagle who knows? That's your choice. There's two paths you can take, and in the long run, there's still time to change the one you're on. This is a never-ending story. Your life is nothing but an allegory. That's part of the chorus of the new tune I'm working on. So pay attention to the signs, the signets, the divine feminine, you. I'm just a clue. I'm just a messenger. I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know. And you know what I just said, and you know that I'm absolutely right on it. I'm not telling you anything that you don't know. And Joe, what's going on down under? We got the top covered. How's the bottom doing?
Bottom's beautiful down here.
Awesome.
I had an experience yesterday. Hey, yeah. Hey, everyone. Great to be on the call. I'm sitting on a bay. We went out in the canoe, my husband and I, and it's still, completely still yesterday. Took the puppy dog for a first run out there. Look at the eagles, fish jumping. We even had dolphins in the bay jumping. And at that moment of just complete presence on the water, that I cry for remembering the oneness with everything. And it's a joyful cry, plus the polarity of remembering because I forgot that divinity.
Yeah, I know exactly where you were today. It's beautiful, isn't it? I've been there all day.
Purity.
Oh,
go
ahead.
Go on, sorry.
I was going to say this will be very helpful because I just figured it out. There's about you're in Australia. Mim is in. Well, I'll speak geographically so you know where people are. Mim is in the U.S. I'm here in Canada, and Ninja's in the Netherlands, the nether regions. And this just kind of went. Oh, this makes total sense. There's about a 2-second delay for people from down under. Because of, the internet's fast, right? But it's still got to cross a planet. So this is one of the things that you'll find. So for those closest to me, it will be almost instantaneous within a second. Those down under, it's a 2 to 3. I would say 2-second delay. It's pretty fast actually when you think about how far it has to go in a conversation. Okay. It's almost instantaneous, and of course, Europe will be about a second delay. So when we're on the phone, this will help everybody, I think. When we're on the phone together, just be mindful of who is speaking and where you are in relation to me. The closer you are to me, the faster the conversations will be in real time. The further away, there will be a little bit of delay. So be mindful where you are in the world in relation to me and where you are in relation to whoever else is talking, and just allow that breathing room. This is not dead air. This is called breathing space. I think that's what I was trying to say at the beginning of the show. So thank you. You just actually, the epiphany hit me with you talking, Joe. So thank you.
Pleasure. While I'm here, I'd like to say the how. Have you got the shadow in the book that you're reading from, very slightly different to the one I have. Do you have the shadow wisdom?
Yes, I do. Now I was going to read that, but I didn't want to take up too much. No, it's Starkless. Let me go to it. The shadow wisdom is critically important. I like to get the ideas across. What the shadow wisdom is effectively the other side of the veil. I'm just looking for it right now. Well, it was numbers, so let's go to numbers and go back. This has just been an incredible, like since these showed up, and I got to tell you, it had to be Miranda. When I stop and think about it, I said, who else would send me these? Now Miranda and we go back about a little over a year now, and I remember the first conversation we had, and we had tagged back and forth on Skype a couple of times, and the first conversation, I think I talked to her for 3, maybe 4 hours, and it was just like, I haven't talked to you in a lifetime, and it was effectively just like catching up with an old friend, much the same way I felt with most of you guys when Tobias was on, Tobias Lars. It did not feel like an interview because it wasn't. It was like, Tobias, how you been? I haven't seen you this lifetime. I haven't had a chance to catch up. So, and when you think of lifetimes as a twinkling of an eye, and realize the people that have been in your life and are have moved on, changed into a different role to learn further, you'll understand what the twinkling of an eye is. And before when I went out with Richard. Dragged my sorry ass out to go to the mall and grab something to eat and just get me out and about. There's that Canadian word, about. Where was I going there? I forgot what I was going to say there. It's just it was critical, but it's okay. But anyway, let's look at the wisdom, the shadow wisdom of Ahau. In the shadow of Ahau are found any ideals or identifications that limit the divine self, the divine and yourself. Such concepts, or boxes, just a coincidence, are constructed from beliefs and principles that create separation. So look at your concepts of divinity and how they create your world and your vision of yourself. If you do not see yourself as an integral part of the divine, you are functioning in the shadow of Ahau. Ahau encourages you to explore, experience, and fully express the nature of unconditional love. In the shadow of Ahau can be seen the expression of conditional love. That is, loving with expectations, conditions, and judgments. Unconditional love can be seen as acceptance and allowance. Through allowance, you step into a larger view of the human condition, granting permission for the myriad ways in which you and others choose to experience and grow. Acceptance and allowance are the open systems that permit all experiences and exploration of all states of being. Grant permission for everything to be all right just as it is. Learn to be unconditional, especially with yourself. It is the basic training for a divine child of the one heart. The limitless solar tide is coming in. Flow on its currents of ecstasy to unconditional joy and union. And just to make that into a more allegorical sense, I said in the very beginning, you are the star of your movie. If you were even aware you're directing it. And what I'm unfolding for myself, and as I speak about it on the air, I'm sharing with you my experience in real time as it correlates to me, and hopefully as it resonates to the rest of me, i.e. you, that you see yourself as I see you. Stunning, glorious perfection. And we go back to the movie, if we take it from the allegory of this, you are the star of your movie, and around you are all the different characters that you manifest in order to make your movie work. What is it you're trying to learn? And of course, you're going to put things in your way. You're going to put experiences that, like the eaglet, aren't quite so comfortable to see how you maneuver your way through it. And although it felt many times in my life that I did hit the ground, I never really did. I came awful close. It's like that moment in sleep when you find yourself falling in your sleep and you wake up before you hit the ground. Well, that's exactly the same experience in the consciousness of being, in the now, as you are conscious of yourself. So those that are gathered around you are the heroes, the heroines. As I told Vicky today, you're one of my heroines, and I'm gonna mainline you if that's okay, right? Heroine, get it? Bad joke, but anyway. And you have the villains, and of course the villains play as critical a role as the heroes, because without the heroes and the villains, we do not have the contrast to see the difference, to spot the duality as the singularity, to spot the head of the dragon and the tail of the dragon equally and put it together and have a coin. And that for me is the Trinity. That is the himself, herself, itself. Just like in a typical ceremony, which there's that Sarah money, mind money, get it? Ritual. Oh, it's crazy how it all goes together. But let's talk about, when you have the allegory of the union of magnetic feminine divine essence and electric divine masculine essence, as allegorized in a church setting, for example, or on the beach, whatever the case may be. When you have the mothers of both the divine feminine and the divine masculine, each carrying a candle, and they go to the center and they light the third candle, which creates the Trinity, the union. When the two are joined, they become the neutral third. They create the third. Allegorically, you need to do that within yourself. You need to bring your masculine intent, that drive, that, the purpose. You have to bring that into balance with creation herself. The other aspect of you, the magnetic, the absolute void of creation. So when someone says, go fuck yourself, say thank you. Because that's what you should be doing in an allegorical sense. Told you, I bring it to you straight as I see it, huh? Mini rant over. Feel free, jump in. Or did I lose you all?
No, it's ma'am. I was just going to say, it's interesting that you talked about that Ahau is the book, The Shadow Wisdom, is the other side of the veil. Because in the conversations that I had today regarding someone who has transitioned to the other side of the veil, this other person and I both, that I was speaking with, we both knew that person, and they called me as a surprise, and they said, somebody wants to speak to you today. And then they put some music on that we all used to listen to together. It had a special message for me. And so it was just a couple of hours of really just truthing and sharing and clearing and beautiful stuff and celebration. And so what you shared from the book and from Ahau have just been really meaningful to me. And I just want to thank you and let you know again that why it resonates so much with me, especially today. Thank you, Kate.
Oh, thank you.
And I'll mute out.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, we do this together, right? Sometimes you're the purpose, and sometimes I'm the purpose, right? So this is the ebb and flow of creation herself. So when we get into that beautiful essence of ebb and flow, the give and take, right? About bringing it into balance, it is the perfect. We can dance the tango or we can dance the waltz. It's entirely up to us how we want to interact and interplay with these energies of the magnetic electric. And we needed an external... Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I can speak after you finish.
No, that's fine.
About the external, the magnetic external. I want to know what that means, from what you were going to go into there.
Okay, well, the external to me, for the allegory, is this. visualize a man and a woman, and please, I'm going to use this only as an example. Do not get caught in the male-female duality, the construct that we're actually trying to fix here. Some women are more masculine in intent and attract the more feminine. And this applies across the board, whether it's a guy and I'll speak literally here just so I can get the concept across, but please keep it spiritual. All right, I'm trying to bust this program for people to see it. Now, the man and the woman are both allegorical. Whether the man and the woman take on the form of a male or a female is irrelevant on either side. What we're dealing with here are the primal energies. Now, I'll give you an example. Here's the call-out. Anyone wants to take me out on a date? I'm totally for that. And I don't care if it's a male or a female. It's the energy I'm interested in. I don't put any veils on love anymore. It's irrelevant. And I guarantee you I'll be a party either way. You see what I'm saying? So for me, it's unconditional. I don't care. I'm looking for the intertwining.
Can I make just a little comment? And you may have, or I may have mentioned this before, but what you're talking about is what it talks about in Scripture when it says that in that day or on the other side, there will be neither marrying nor giving in marriage. And we, from the Judaic-Christian kind of background that most of us grew up with, people are thinking they have to wait until they die and go to heaven to experience what you're talking about. And you're trying to help people understand, no, it's here now.
It's now, and I don't know if you've watched much of Bill Donahue, but I love when he speaks of this. He's saying, all you got to do is come in here and listen to us week after week after week, and you won't get anything out of it other than just, recite this scripture and recite that scripture, and don't worry, because everything great that's going to happen to you will happen to you after you're dead. And we bought it. Hook, line, and sinker, lock, stock, and barrel. I'm sorry.
It is a revelation.
It is totally.
It's an epiphany and a revelation.
It's one of the joys of Bill. Yeah, you don't have to wait. That's what they told you. They said, and there's the time illusion again, thinking you have to wait for a lifetime, and we all bought into it. We're not buying the shit anymore, though. That's that whole phony Nishan. Man-made scribe and Pharaoh C law is garbage. And all they got to do is walk away completely. I did have an epiphany as to what I'm going to be doing, and it's going to be fun. I assure you. Hey, listen, when I play, I don't play softball. I think you guys know that by now. You want to hear a really good joke? Here's a really good joke. Here I am, and I love saying this to guys too. It says, "Why can't you do this? I'm only half the man you are, big, strong, tough, super macho. Yeah, right? Okay, chicken shit. Listen, if a tranny can do it, think you can do it too. And why? I tell you what. Here's another good one too. Why you stand and judge me?" As being some sort of freak, which I'm not, you're missing the whole point. And if I need to appeal to egos, that's fine. This is for all you tough men out there, and women too, doesn't matter. You think you're so tough. Well, this little tranny did it. This little tranny who was in terror of herself for an entire lifetime actually managed to, love this part, grow a pair to get the job done. And as soon as I can, they'll be up on Google or on eBay, and they'll go to the highest bidder, and that will guarantee to make a judge bow. I'll get a little authentication certificate. There you go. You can bronze them and everything. It's all great. Look at the allegory, guys. Look at the clue. That's all it is with me. I'm just a clue. I'm just a messenger. And I don't say that with any sort of victim overlay. No, like, I'm just this. No. I say my absolute power, truth in absolute humility. You see, the problem with power is ego allows arrogance to step in, and I correct myself on this on occasion where I say, oh, hey, what are you doing? Get out of there. You know, where there's almost, and this is how quick you got to be with the TLB, and I did see a plate, by the way. I had laughed because I was blah, 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 and it's like, because I could feel my, you know, the doubting, Mrs. Doubtfire coming in, and I was thinking, that's ego, right? And no sooner did I say that, car goes by, and I believe the numbers were 115, so there's the 1115, TLB. Now, 1115 is always huge for me. I can go back through all my, and I did. I went back through some addresses, and I got to tell you, I had to laugh. I used to live at 149 Rhonda Road, which is, of course, 15, or 14, which is 5 from my life path. I've lived on Country Club Drive, and I went through this today in my head. Oh, there's 155, right? 15 life path. Oh, another plate that went by just as I'm not kidding you guys. Like, this is crazy shit today. It's just it would not stop. I'm just like, oh, okay. Boy, did I put it out there today. But a plate beside me, the letters are eluding me right now, but they actually mattered in that moment of thought. And it had 615, June 15th, right? Go figure, my birthday. So these are my clues. You see, and a lot of times people get caught up in this notion that, you know, well, Kate's trying to put herself across as being something special because it's all about her with it. No, this is my experience. I'm trying to share with you what my experience is, so that you can actually see the numbers that are relevant to you. Your birthday numbers are completely relevant to you. Where you were born is relevant to you. These are all your clues. This is where you showed up. This is you, Dorothy and Toto, at the start of the yellow brick road. So take your yellow brick road and spiral it out and see all the different munchkins and all the scarecrows and tin men and all the rest of it that you've encountered from that instant you got here. Oz is everywhere. Oz is where you start your game. You land in the little people land. Okay? Allegorically, you're small. Yet Dorothy towered over all of these munchkins. So look at the allegories for what they are. What are they telling you? This is why everything in your universe is absolutely critical in your experience, in your path. All I'm sharing with you is my start point. Where my yellow brick road started was June 15th, 1964, Belfast in Ireland. And everything that has happened in my life is irrelevant that I'm Irish or white, or it has nothing to do with it. That's all illusion. And if you stare at it, you'll miss your own road. I just choose to follow it. So I spiraled out and I watched, and I've looked back, and everything, and I've told you guys this many times, everything I've done in my life matters to this moment. And here's a clue for all of you. So does yours. Everything. You never made one mistake. Not one. Your life has been perfect, and it will be forever. Creation can't be anything but perfect. Only in the illusion of the game can we start to sense this, that it is somehow a mistake. Your perfection. How the fuck can something that's perfect screw up? You can't. That's the all-knowing. That is the fail-safe for you. And the minute you understand that everything you did in your life had an absolute purpose, even as I deal with my own frustrations, I have to look in my own mirror there and see, okay, how do I, and again, with me it's a war of being frustrated externally and internally, knowing that I shouldn't be frustrated externally because it's affecting back and forth. That's why anyone that ever comes to me and says, well, I haven't got an ego, I'm going to say, fuck you. Get away from the table until you can come back and say, I've got an ego and I'm trying to get it under control. You know, go ahead, play the victim role with me. Play whatever role you want. I'm just here as an observer. I'm neutral. And the game is to be neutral. And everyone is so very quick to judge. And I'll tell you, over the last few days, especially, a major turning point for me, and as you guys are probably getting more and more aware of it, was watching that speech from my words coming out of Lana Wachowski's mouth, telling my story as she's told the same story for all of us that are two-spirit, that have walked this particular road. Everything you have done in your life matters. Everything in your life has been perfect. How you look at it is your call. You can deny that truth, or you can stand in it and start to see what mattered, what you did to get where you are right now, because every choice you have made in this universe has brought you to this table. Are you going to sit at the table and not partake of the truth? Or are you going to partake of the truth that you're not ready for and choke on it, much as Neo did? Because even the mighty Neo, no one ever made that first jump across the buildings. Morpheus said so. They had running bets on it that, Morpheus thought he was going to make it. And a couple others said, no, he's not going to. No one. And of course, Neo, the eaglet, Morpheus, the mother eagle, did the jump across first to show that it could be done. That's what I've done. I've jumped across many chasms to show that it could be done. And I didn't have anyone showing me the way. I just had me. And of course, what happens when Neo gets out there, he looks down, and then he has that sudden realization that, this can't be happening, and Mrs. Doubtfire kicked his universal ass. And of course, he fell all the way down, and of course, no one's going to get hurt in the program, and he just bounces back up. But until we have that contrast of win and lose, we'll never have a game. Where we're at right now is realizing that we win. And we're just working our way towards that win factor. And when you really start to see this, when you really start to trust yourself again, when you remove those doubts, Neo, when you start to look at yourself as being perfect, and take it from someone who has spent a lifetime dealing with the absolute imperfection of a reflection. But even in that imperfection, I was able to finally see me, regardless of what was reflecting back. And all I've been doing over the last couple of years or so is adjusting my mirror so that it's more suitable to what I know my reflection was going to be, to who and what I truly am. See, this is one of the things too, and it applies to a chat the other day with 3 friends of mine, and one of them, whom I've known for a long time, still referred to me as he and him, and one of my other friends said, "Who are you talking about?" And he goes, "Well, Kate." To which was replied, "What part of her aren't you getting? Did you miss the skirt? Did you miss the boobs, the hairstyle, the shoes, the mannerisms, the love? Did you miss that? Or were you too busy dealing with your love of your cock, your fallacy?" Best advice I can give anyone like that is throw some panties on. Have a little fun with yourself. And to most of the men out there listening, I already know you have. I know the stats. This is one of the stats I looked at. And you'd be amazed. But here's the good news, boys. 95% of those that dabble on occasion in feminine lingerie or whatever the case may be, because they love the divine feminine so much, it's just to get a little closer to it, 95% of them are hetero. So your manhood is safe with the little tranny here. Okay? Rant over.
Hey, Kate.
Hey.
I loved Lana's speech. It had me
in tears too.
In awe. Oh, yeah, just so moving. I was thinking last night about my friends as we've grown up who've had little boys who've gone through the phase of wearing their skirts and dresses and knowing that they felt beautiful in that, and some of the rejection that was in that at the process as it was happening. And I thought, I'm going to send Lana's speech to a couple of my friends who have transitioned through that beautifully with their boys.
Their boys who would be daughters.
For the pure enjoyment. Yep, that's exactly it. For the pure release that they would get from just listening to her, and acceptance, and and that's just me, one person. So, yeah.
Well, I'm not sure, about the kind of, really, when think about it, what is the vindication of probably one of the most notable Hollywood directors, most notable directors on this planet, coming out and showing who she really is? The elation that I felt looking at her, I'm going, oh, you go, girl. And I listened to my story unfold from her lips. And yeah, now I can, and here it is. The universe is unfolding here, and I want to share a couple of things with you guys that happened today. And I want to show you through my experience the difference that happens in your creation when you actually allow creation to occur. The elation I felt listening to Lana as she told her story. I mean, she said, she's been out to her friends and family for over a decade. And you heard her talk about how she could not be bought. The true two spirits cannot be bought. Because it's inherent in us. It's part of our program, if you will. That it cannot happen. The temptations can be there, but it cannot happen. Life on my terms, because I don't seek anything from you. I'm the creator here. I don't have a problem with that. And you can have my gold, but obviously you're trying to steal it. So I'm going to save it for those that actually just want it. They want to share in it. So the two things that happened today, it's kind of funny because just before Vicky was leaving, I said to her, well, I'm just going to go get a refill on the coffee. I like getting refills. They're only $1. It's great coffee. Oh, my God. Anyway, the only time I drink coffee is when I go there. It's real. It's that organic, mountain-grown, I forget the name of it, but it's direct from the farmer, no bullshit, whatever. And anyway, so I went in, and it was kind of funny, too, because the owner of the coffee shop, I can't even call it that. It's like this really cool general store, coffee, it's an amazing place. It's got art on the walls, and actually my music system is there, my speakers and power amp and all the rest of it. I left it there so they can use it for people to come in to play and whatever. But he comes up to me and says, oh, Kate, how's it going? I haven't seen you. I said, well, I've been here. I just haven't seen you. And he goes, oh, it's great to see you. And he puts his hand on it. I said, what the hell's that? And I gave him a hug, right? And of course, man hug, right? Big on the back. And I'm thinking, and damn near broke my spine, too. And he goes, oh, sorry about that. I said, yeah, well, I'm a girl. Hug me like that, eh? He started laughing. He's awesome. I love him. He's just a beautiful, beautiful soul. And so that was when I first got there. But anyway, just before I'm ready to leave, I walk in, and I put my cup on the counter with $1 on top. So it's medium roast, please. And I went over to use the facilities before I left. And it's an hour and 10, 15-minute drive back. So I thought that'd be best. And went up to there was someone in there, and I, of course, waited. And they got this big sliding door. It's kind of neat the way they built it. It's all done with barn board and just big metal stuff, and it's just amazing. Kind of work that I'd love to do in carpentry. So the door opens up, and a gentleman's coming out, and he looks at me and says, "Oh, well, hang on a sec." And he walked back in, and he put the toilet seat down. And what was the word he said? He says, "Oh, I used to, what was it? Along the lines of I used to not give a shit. I used to be disrespectful." And he walked back in, and he put the seat down and came out, and I just looked at him and said, "Well, thank you. Vindication." So, of course, use the washroom, come out, and just as I'm coming around the corner, there's a wall there. It's coming around the corner. There's a gentleman walking, ready to walk out, and as soon as he caught sight of me, he stopped and he backed up, and he said, "After you, ma'am." And I said, "Well, thank you." So it was a double whammy. It was like, yeah, that's the energy, though. That's all about the energy. We got about 7 minutes left here on the on-air. We're going to roll over because I'm just loving your energy tonight, guys. This is what's happening right now is you're feeding me, and this is the food that you have given me that I'm preparing and giving back. All right. So just a great big shout out to criticalmassradio.co.uk. Paul Giovanni, you most gracious angel. Thank you so much for this table that you've provided for all of us, and Lisa and the crew at Critical Mass for partaking and making this table possible and being a part of the duality of Critical Mass Radio, the sister stations, if you will, where we bring everything we can to the table, and everyone that wants to join is most welcome. It's infinite truth. It is never needing replenished, because once the truth is set on the table, it is the cornucopia, the horn of plenty, that will never empty. It's the Guinness that the genie gave the Irish guy that never empties, that he wanted another one. We don't need another one. We just got the one. It's good. So thank you so much. If there's anything anyone can do as far as donations to criticalmassradio.co.uk, please. Every little bit helps to keep us on the air. This has been a gift to me to be here. No strings attached. This is the purest radio platform in the universe. This I know. If you can't do that or unable, no problem. Share the word, spread the word. Far and wide, and put the intent behind that. There's your Trinity. Put the intent there. Spread the word, and if you can, great. Help. Doesn't matter. Any one of those three ways you're going to help anyway. Because the universe, Mother Eagle, will never let this eaglet hit the ground. That I know. So if anyone wants to get in on the rollover, please, you'll have to call in now. Area code 661-467-2401. And, of course, you can Skype in. Just refresh the page that you're on, listening to the show, and hit the Skype button. It will redirect you. Be patient. It takes 20, 30 seconds. And you can join us on the board and listen in there. And we have someone else who's just jumped in here, area code 207. So we'll bring everyone to the table, and all are most welcome. You have no idea how much gratitude I have when you do come to the table. Thank you. It's just really boring eating alone. Area code 207. Your mic is hot.
Hi, it's Ginger. Ginger from Maine.
Yes, how are you? I was muted. I had to unmute before I said, how are you? Good to hear from you, hon.
Well, I've been having enormous growth as I've been putting on the Facebook page every so often. Hey, I'm still here. I'm still listening to everything. Actually, that's not really true, because I don't have time to listen to everything. But I agree with you that if you need to hear it, you will. And
show up when you're going to show up with perfect timing every time. Whether you've listened all week or not, you're getting the now moment. So yes, I want to drive that point home, because you're absolutely perfectly correct on that.
Yeah. And I just want to remind people that you need to read I, Who Shall Not Be Named, and the long and short of it. I got such a kick out of it. I don't know what show it was, but you said it like 3 or 4 times in a row so that people would get it. And I'm reinforcing that, and I'm holding them in my hand right now because today I got a new printer so I could print them out, because I have a hard time reading things online. So I got a new printer. They're printed out, and I'm going to read them until I get it. So there you go.
Perfect. And thank you. Universe sent you to remind me, and I mean this literally. You came to remind me that I need to tell people this little bit of information. Ray Zhu had asked me about this. Said, whose names do I put on this? Okay? So here's the names that you put on it. Anyone that you have had a spiritual contract with, be it through blood, mom and dad, sisters, brothers, okay, direct. And I'm not talking aunts and uncles. I'm talking direct. Anyone that you've been, married to, male or female, and anyone that you've been in a spiritual relationship with that would be deemed in their system a common law marriage, and any children, of course. So anyone that is directly connected to you in a spiritual contract, put their all caps name in. You don't have to tell them. It doesn't matter. This is about breaking the contract for you. It's not their fault that you're contracted with them, nor is it yours that they're with you. It's just about clarification. This does not Just here it is in a nutshell, guys. Just do it. You know. But that's what I wanted to get across. So thank you for reminding me. I got 2 other lines I want to open up here. But continue on, Ginger. I'm just going to open these lines up so they know they're in at the table. We got area code. One sec. Area code 814. Your line is open. Just hang on a sec. And area code 604, which I think is that's Patty. But continue, Ginger, and then everyone else. Just let you know all your lines are open. We're all at the table, so don't wait for me to invite you. You're already here. You invited yourself, and that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. I've been concerned today about what happened in Lake Megantic in Canada. There was a derailment of a train there, supposedly.
Okay.
We've been working hard here on drawing attention to it here in Maine. Some of us, not everyone, but
what's the allegory? Don't get caught in the
allegory,
ego here.
And I'm trying to see the allegory.
I can tell you what it is.
Okay, tell me.
Okay, remember, this is for everyone. Stop looking at this place like it's real. You are caught in the movie.
Yeah.
If someone that you were unaware of just got burned, did you feel it?
No.
If someone just got wiped out in a car accident, did you experience it?
No.
Did you feel it? So how is it you? How is it? And this is how cold hard truth you've got to get to see this. Right. It has nothing to do with you. Did it happen? If a tree falls in the forest, did you hear it? No. That's the assumption. This is critical, guys. That is the assumption and presumption, and this is where the ego gets controlled through that seed of doubt planting, that somehow it's real. It's not. It's illusion. So now this is the only way you're going to see the allegory. If you didn't feel it, smell it, experience it, taste it, touch it, be it, it isn't you.
Well, I understand that part, but
no buts.
The reason I'm saying,
you just think
I'm saying
hang on.
Is because does that mean it didn't happen?
Well, I'm not saying it didn't. What I am saying is you didn't experience it. You're supposed to see it. It's part of your movie. Don't get wrapped up in the movie is what I'm trying to get across here.
No, I'm not wrapped up in that part. I have a different point to make.
Okay, go ahead, kiddo.
Okay, so I'm not feeling that. What I'm seeing is something that is a manipulation. So I'm exposing the manipulation. So I just want to know, I guess, how that relates to the other things that we talk about and that I've been thinking about, the things that you talk about. And the manipulation is that there has been a plan to put a corridor across Maine from Canada to Canada, right straight through the middle, and it would be a private road and a utility corridor, and that's exactly where it would come out in Canada. And we're just thinking that this part
Well,
of it.
then let me tell you what the allegory is. It just got derailed. It's not going to happen. Look at the allegories. If we get attached to things, emotionally, we will never see them. Emotion means no motion. Unconditional love says, I'm an observer only. Be the observer.
I'm observing, but I'm drawing attention. See what I'm saying?
Well, I know.
I'm an observer in that way, but I'm drawing attention because...
But Ginger, hang on.
I see the hidden...
What kind of attention are you drawing to it? The first feeling... hang on, the empath here says to me, the first feeling I got from you, there was an emotional attachment to it. It wasn't a big one. It wasn't a big one, but there was an emotional attachment to it, so I knew there was still some TLB. And that's me too.
I'm concerned for Maine because that's where I live.
Well, why does that matter? Why does that matter more than why does that matter more than Wisconsin or Pakistan?
It doesn't in one sense or another.
Do you know why you're from Maine?
I just don't know a lot about Wisconsin or those other places, but I do know about Maine because it's where I live.
Okay, well, can you tell me why you're from Maine?
I was raised in Maine.
No, I didn't
I
ask
was
that.
here because my family was here.
Well, no, I know why you're. I know why you are there.
Are here now,
physically.
you mean?
No,
Yeah.
hang on. Clear your head, kiddo. You're trying to think of the next thing. Okay, clear your head, because you're missing what I'm trying to show you here. I already explained it earlier with the. Where did you show up? Because I showed up in Belfast, Ireland, doesn't mean that somehow that's more special than where you showed up in Maine. I'll tell you what you need to see is I know how you showed up in Maine. You can't. You popped out of mom in a body.
No.
And I know. Hang on. I'm work
true.
with me, Ginger. Stop arguing, okay? Stop.
I'm trying.
I will chainsaw you. I promise.
Okay.
I'll get rid of that. I need you to see this because I'm trying to give you the epiphany of epiphanies here.
Okay.
I'm trying to gift you beyond universe. You showed up in Maine for a very particular reason, and it didn't have anything to do with your mom, your dad, your aunts, your cousins, your uncles, or kiss my arse, or fuck all. You showed up in Maine because all your clues are there. That's where your yellow brick road started, and you need to see why and lose all of the physical, all of the emotional attachments, mom, dad, aunts, uncles, all the rest of that shit. Those are all allegories. I'm not saying don't care about them. This is what unconditional love is about. It's only because you do care that you will look. Because right now, if you're not looking, you don't give a shit. Mirror, mirror. It takes a bit to get used to this. I tell you, I fought tooth and nail because I'm going, oh, and I had to wrestle this bear to the ground, hon. But I'll tell you, when I thought the bear was out cold, actually I ripped. When the bear wakes up, tell him he can get his coat in the dumpster. Okay, that's how badly I wrestled this bear. I ripped the skin right off it. You need to see why you came where you came, because it's not because I'm American or I'm East Indian or I'm African or I don't give a fuck what you are. That's a label. Did you miss why you came in where you came in? Because you had a very specific plan in mind, and I'm trying to remind you of it. I know exactly what my plan is because I followed all my trails. You know, what's your birthday, by the way?
July 10th.
Oh, your birthday's coming up. Awesome.
Yes. And the other thing, I mean,
okay.
No, I'm listening to what you're saying, but what I hear is that you misunderstand.
Oh, actually, I don't. I promise you. I will throw that.
Born in Maine.
No.
I was
okay.
moved to Maine with my family,
okay.
but I stayed because I love it here. Yes, and it is where my road. I've seen everything that you're talking about. I've seen signs.
Okay.
I've followed them for years.
Drama. Shut up, Ego. I need to talk to Ginger. You got a minute, Ginger?
Okay. Sure.
Okay. Well, tell that tricky little bastard to fuck off. Okay. When you start babbling, that's the ego. That's not you, and I love you. I'm gonna slaughter that little prick. So the ego will take it personally. You won't, because you can't. You're perfect. Where were you born? You're missing the point. Where were you born?
Vermont.
Okay, so why did you show up in the Mountain of Truth?
I don't know what that means.
Vermont?
You mean because that's what Vermont means?
Vermont, ver from verily?
Yeah.
Meaning truth.
Okay.
Mont, French for mountain. So why are you from Truth Mountain? Just a little responsibility there. You might want to have a look at your birthday. You might want to figure out what happened in history that resonates with you. Because there is no such thing as history or future. There are only clues in the now. So here's a little trail for you to go on. I want you to find out why you're here. You still don't know yet. Because you would tell me what happened, what mattered on July 10th in history that resonates with you. There's going to be something. You'll find something. So Google July 10th. What happened on July 10th?
Oh, it's a history thing.
Well, no, it's still going to be in the now. I'm trying to get people to look at the now using all the tools. There is no such thing as history. Time is an illusion. So when you pick up a history book reading about the 1600s, you're reading about it right now because it is now. Everything has happened now. There is no such thing as past or future. This is a tough one for people, I know, and I know that the TLB will chew and fight, and I know mine did. Like I said, that's that bear that I had to rip the coat off and throw it in the dumpster. Okay? So here, I am so grateful you called in, hon. I am so grateful. Find out what happened, and there's going to be something that's going to resonate with you. You came from Truth Mountain. That's why you showed up there. What's
Truth Mountain rather than Green Mountain?
Well, Vermont.
They always say it's Green Mountain. Yeah.
Well, what is green? Green is the heart.
Okay.
Unconditional love is truth. Truth Mountain.
Very interesting.
Look at you follow your clues. That's just a coincidence, by the way. Did you what city did you arrive in?
St. Johnsbury.
St. Johnsbury. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Let me have a look. It's not ringing a bell with me, but there's a very specific reason why you showed up in St. Johnsbury. So you might want to find something that resonates in history with St. Johnsbury. Okay? You might want to have a look at that. This is how I found my trail. I'm telling you how I did this like 3+ years ago. More than that. I was already hot on my trail. I just didn't know what I was looking for, but I knew I was looking for something. And it's amazing because everything that I thought I was...
Are you saying you didn't have any idea until later on? You didn't know when you were a little child?
I knew I had a purpose.
I knew what mine was when I was little.
Then what was it?
Teaching and nurturing.
Okay, that's not a purpose. That's a job.
Yeah, it is, because it's...
Okay, the purpose... Okay, well, here, I'll show you how it's a job and not a purpose.
Okay.
What's the end result of teaching? That's the purpose.
The end result of teaching?
What are you
trying? From it.
Right, well, what are you trying to teach?
It's actually how to learn. It's the opposite.
There you go. Well,
from teaching.
Well, that's absolutely the best student is the teacher. I know that.
Education, I should say.
Yeah. Well, again, for me, and I use the allegory of my doing the Songwriter Cafe. Of course, I had lots of songs and whatever. I never considered myself a prima donna on guitar or whatever, and but I put myself in a position where I better, as the host of this, I gotta shine, and it really made me knuckle down.
Yeah.
Nothing puts more pressure on you than you taking the lead role and saying, "Well, I can do. Well, show me." And you learn very quickly. But I don't want to sidetrack you here, but I do want to get area. We got area code 814. I've got all the lines open, so whoever hasn't jumped in yet, please feel free. We need everybody on the table, and that's not to cut you short, by the way, Ginger. You've brought some amazing.
I'm just the thing that I think why I said I thought it was misunderstood is that I'm not talking about the fact that I am, concerned in the same way as I would have been in the past. What I'm concerned about actually is just that people see what is going on. I just want to expose it because I feel that it's hidden, and I don't like it being hidden.
Well, you just did to, probably 15,000 people. How many more you want?
Yeah. No, that's enough. Actually, I know that it spreads out very exponentially, and it's wonderful.
Well, here's the good news, kiddo. Just the fact that you mentioned it to me went to the entire universe. I know.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't misunderstand anything. I go, yeah, that's what needed to be said and seen right now. That's my experience as being co-created by Ginger and the team.
Yeah.
So I'm co-creating. So what's your area code again?
207.
It is 207, okay. Area code 814, you haven't piped in yet, so we did have another one.
Hello, Kate.
Hey, who we got?
My customary calling is Lee.
Lee! Oh, my goodness, and look at you saying it right and everything. Look at, you're special.
Mahalo, thank you.
So what's on your lovely mind and heart tonight?
I'm just enjoying this so much.
Fun, eh?
I'm just sitting here saying, mahalo, thank you.
See how good we are? I need you guys to know this so badly. Look what you're creating. I'm just the messenger. I'm the co-creation. How are you digging yourself? How are you loving yourself right now?
I know how I am.
Stellar, isn't it?
I'm exactly doing what I want to do at this moment.
Of course you are. But are you?
So I'm loving it.
Good. Because I need to be the co-creation that you love. I am yours. I am you. Create me at your will. I am the open vessel. And believe it or not, I'm the manifesting generator in the human design. Whatever wish you have, push it through me. It's yours. What would you like? What is your greatest wish? What is your heart's desire in unconditional love? It's yours. Ask and ye shall receive. This is the power of you. This is the power of me. I'm just taking it upon myself to remind you. Ask and ye shall receive. What glorious, bountiful gifts are you seeking? How can I make your dreams come true? That's what unconditional is. To love enough to allow the creation of the other to flow through you unconditionally. Because I'll tell you one thing that I do know, because whatever it is, it'll be perfect. No mistakes, no doubts. Just perfect. Are you guys okay with perfect? Is that good enough?
That is I think that's a very difficult thing, the perfect thing.
Mrs. Doubtfire, give her a kick in the ass. Get her out of there.
Yeah, go ahead and do it.
Hey, I got my own Mrs. Doubtfire to deal with. You got yours. Get over it. I'm taking out my garbage as quickly and as able as I possibly can.
Well, I heard you had Adam on the other night. I had gotten up because I couldn't sleep, and it was a recorded program, and I fell asleep during it because I was so relaxed thinking, and woke up to the sound of Adam's voice, and I went, I know Adam. I've heard Adam before. I don't know him personally, but I know Adam online, and I hadn't heard his voice in a long time, and I was like, I wonder how Adam is, so I listened, and it was really, really cool to hear somebody that I knew online talking while I was asleep. It was wonderful. It was wonderful.
Hey,
and I love the conversation you had.
You want a funny story with me and Adam?
Sure.
This goes back to last, because I did a bunch of shows with him and South African girl. What's her name?
Was it Enid?
She went, I think something Eve or whatever.
Yes, that was it. They did a show for a while. I remember talking to her online too.
Yeah, and I was doing regular shows with them all the time. They would get me in whenever they could. And I'll tell you, the last show I did with them. This is a funny story. I hope Adam's listening, because here's the thing about I grant wishes, right? We were talking, word breakdowns and whatever, and I love Adam. I do. He was just a great, and the love that he has within him is so. I don't even know if he can experience his own love. It's incredible. It's just like over the top. But we're anyway talking about word breakdowns and whatever, and I forget what the actual instant was, but it was one of these moments, and he said, "Okay, will you just shut up?" And I said, "Okay, I can do that," and I hung up.
Yep. I probably heard it because I was listening to a lot of those programs. It was, I think, the first that I had ever heard of you. And I remember him doing that kind of thing, and I would just think, oh, my gosh, that's so rude.
Well,
I understand why you did it, because he asked you to.
Yeah, he said, shut up, and I said, I'll grant your wish.
Yeah.
And I've never mentioned this since then. This is the first time I've ever mentioned this to anyone. I talked to a couple of people that day. I said, yeah, people... They don't get me. It's they ask for something from me. I will grant their wish every single time. Not a problem.
I believe I heard it when it actually happened live.
Oh, when I hung up, I was laughing. I'm thinking, okay, hopefully. And of course, I talked to him briefly after that. It was just so wonderful that he called in.
Yeah.
And it was perfect timing. It was beautiful.
I had checked on him probably 6 months ago and in email and got back a reply, and he just said, most of us do Facebook now, and I wasn't doing Facebook, so I lost track. But it was, I was trying to help them get that network off the ground too, as far as some programming, and I especially liked the things that were different, the things that stretched the thought processes, so that people aren't just on the same path, going down the same path every day.
Well, see, that's the thing about system. System wants us all on the same path. That's why I when you mentioned about the train derailing, that is an indicator to me. Of course, I'd heard, I didn't know where it was or whatever, but I had heard something along those lines. So there it is, that junction where the switchman wasn't quite ready for it, and the whole system derailed, right? So here's the allegory. That train is no longer going in the circle. You see, I think in universal terms. I don't think in planetary terms. I think, as the butterfly or the dragonfly or the bee, that is a, what we're doing are the little flaps of our wings and watching trains derail, because those are the tsunamis that go out across the universe. Every thought you have matters, literally. So be careful what you wish for, and be careful what you think.
I had said several times that the East-West corridor would not be built across Maine, and was thinking that a lot. I really don't think it will be, but people seem to be resigned. They think it's just going to happen, but I don't think it will. So I was just interested to hear what you would say about the allegory, and I see the derailment now. I see the derailment part.
Well, now here's the rule of seeing allegories, and this is where the ego still gets trapped.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking at the literal, your ego is trapped. And if you still relate back to the literal after understanding the allegory, then you're still dealing in pure logic. You're still dealing in pure masculine left brain thinking.
Well, wouldn't it be that all of it? I mean, can't you see it any other way? I mean, you can see the logic also. You can see that that's what it is.
Yes, and the logic comes into the allegory.
Right.
Not the literal. The literal, absolutely. Logic says a train derailed. But when you get the allegory of it, you've still got the logic of the allegory and why it works. You're feeding both sides instead of just the left.
That's the hard part. Can you do that really slow and tell me again? That's the hard part, that I'm not getting what you're saying.
Okay. And thank you, because this is critical information for people to see the difference. Okay. Train derails. You see it on the newspaper. That's literal. You think, oh my, people get hurt and all that, and I'm not making light of it, right?
No, I know.
But I do understand that it's just my movie, because I'm not part of the train derailment. It's not. That is a scene in our movie, right?
Yeah.
Whoever was involved in the train or whatever, that they were directing their game. That's where their game ended. Okay? So this is about allowing the rest of consciousness to play its own roles. Okay, so we see the literal of the train derailment, blah, 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 standard, every day, oh my, oh me, oh gosh. Right? So the allegory, in a universal sense, tells me, and especially based on what you were saying about, wanting to run this corridor, literally there's a divide and conquer, universally speaking.
Oh, yeah, we got that, yeah.
Okay, well, stay allegorical with me. Don't go literal. I need you to stay on this track. So this represents, from the perspective that you've shared for me, is there was a divide and conquer they were trying to draw a line through, and the train actually derailed. So that satisfies the logic in the universal spiritual equally with the creative divine feminine of the allegory. You see, only the allegory can be both. The literal is only masculine. It is an effect.
The literal is only what? It's only what?
Is only masculine. It's only about the literal effect. There's no cause other than something physical. When you get into the allegorical, now you're dealing with the spiritual cause side of yourself that we've been steered away from. Allegorical, that's been derailed. I can show you countless ways. When you see just the concept of a derailment, think universally that something in the universe, the entire universe, just got derailed. Not just the one train. That's the butterfly flap. It is a tsunami throughout the universe. Is that a little clearer?
Yes, it is. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get off the phone now and just listen, because I need to think about that, so it'll stay in my head for a while.
Okay. Of course it is. What do you choose?
Okay.
I can wishes.
All right.
It's your wish. I love you for it. Please.
Okay.
All good.
All right.
And Ginger, thank you so much, because you bring a beautiful perspective contrast to the table. And you need to know that.
Thank you.
What you just did was perfect. Thank you. Now, while it might not feel perfect for ourselves, and you know me, I speak third party, I include me in you, right? So it may not feel entirely perfect for ourselves, but in the grand scheme, it was perfect for the entire universe, including you. Neat, eh?
Yeah.
That's how we have cause over the entire universe, and you just did it, and I just, thank you.
Well, it's very interesting. I'm extremely interested, and I am thinking right now. My brain is going, so I need to get off the phone so I can just listen to you guys talk now.
There you go.
So have a good night.
You too, kiddo, and much love. Now,
all right.
Lee, you haven't said much so far, and it's just wonderful hearing new voices. As I won't say old, because some egos might get offended. No. Did you just spot your tricky little bastard? As well as those that have been at the table in the now longer now than others. Lee, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
So whereabouts are you calling in from? 814. I'm not familiar with the area code.
Oh, that's actually the mountains of Pennsylvania.
Oh, I love Pennsylvania. Oh my God. Oh, that's such a beautiful state. I just love it. It's the forests and the hills, and just traveling through on the highway. Just incredible. So you're in some beautiful country where you are.
It is beautiful here, Kate.
Yeah, I have a strong attachment for Pennsylvania. Are you familiar with Red Lion?
Red Lion?
Yeah, it's down around Kent. Yeah, it's down the southern end. It's about say 45 minutes from Baltimore. I have some friends down there, and there was another one, Red Lion, right? Pennsylvania. Why was that? So see, it factored in for me based on the coat of arms and stuff. So it's all the dots connected. But what is your? I want to continue playing this game with everyone. What is your where were you born? Where was your point of entry here for this game? Your Yellow Brick Road started where?
Mountains of Pennsylvania.
And when? I don't need the year, just
August 2nd.
August 2nd. Now, I will say to you, there is a very important reason why you got here on August 2nd. It ties in with your zodiac. It ties in with everything. So this is how I'm trying to show people how to know themselves. Know thyself, right? This is what it's about. So I would ask you to do the same, is have a look throughout your entire life. And then go looking at, and don't worry, you won't make any mistakes. You never do. The universe will lead you because your game's perfect. Start looking up August 2nd and find the things that resonate with you. And watch your Yellow Brick Road unfold for you. And you're going to have lots of, oh my God, moments, I promise. I like to call them oh my me moments. Ohms. Right? Well, you are God, right? So you might as well call it what it is. Oh my me. And of course with moments you have oh my me moments, right? Ohms. Right? So there you go. So what brought you to the table?
I've been listening to you for a while, Kate, and mostly listening, and today I just wanted to call in the energy, everything about this show, but also this morning I was sitting with some of my cards, not regular tarot cards. They're called Hawaiian mana cards. And I was thinking about you, and I pulled a card for you.
Oh, lovely. Hopefully it doesn't have horns on it, but no, I'm kidding.
No, it's Poliahu. She's the snow goddess.
Who did you pull?
Poliahu. Polihahu. I hope I spelled it right.
Isn't that funny? Because I pulled Ahau, which is Ahau, from the Mayan deck today. Snow goddess, eh?
Yes.
Sure. I have never come into contact with Hawaiian cards. Would you please indulge me? I'd love to hear about it.
Let me get to them, Kate. I'm sitting in the dark here. Let me get to where I can see them.
I get to learn something.
Do you know,
awesome.
Do you know anything about the culture? Some of the you know about Pele. Well, this is Pele's sister.
Oh.
But she was very, very jealous of Poliahu.
Isn't that
interesting? Let me get a light on so I can read this.
I love people listening in the dark because I know you're zoned. You're giving me goosebumps right now. Wow, you got lots of energy.
Okay.
Seriously, I'm riddled with goosebumps.
Thank you. The number on the card is 28.
Yeah, just in the days I spent in solitary. Keep going.
Okay.
One lunar cycle.
And I had this all set up before now. Give me 1 second, Kate.
No rush, love. We got a half an hour here, so this is one of the nights that I wish it would just keep going and going and going, because I guarantee it's going to be even more powerful tomorrow night. And just to remind people, I'm going to be doing reads. I've got and I was thinking about it today while you're looking for your cards and whatever. What I was thinking about today was I'm going to do the past, present, future 3-card spread in the Arthurian and a Mayan mirror split. That's what I call them when I break the deck and see what the mirror is. Right, the card facing up is what is, and what is its mirror. And I flip over the one you can't see, right, the veiled one, to see what's behind that mirror. That's why they work in unity together. So I'll be doing that. Magnolia, as already mentioned, she wants that redone, and Carol in France. So typically these kinds of reads will take about 15 minutes to give a really good full scope. And that way I can get more people involved and just make it a party. So there you go. Floor is yours.
Okay. Poliahu is the snow goddess whose name means to caress. Poli means bosom, and Ahu means garment. The snows of Poliahu softly cover the bosom of the 14,000-foot majestic mountains, Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa, on the island of Hawaii. Poliahu's home is Mauna Kea, mountain of white. Mau means always, steady, constant, even, unceasing, permanent, stationary, perpetual, persevering, enduring, and lasting. Na means calmed, quieted, pacified, soothed, and settled. And then it goes into a story about Poliahu with Pele. Do you want to hear that part?
Oh, I'm all ears. I'm getting an education, and please, this is what I hunger for, so carry on.
Okay. One story of Poliahu tells of how her skills in the art of sledding led her into a confrontation with the fire goddess, Pele. One day, Poliahu was challenged to a sled race by a beautiful woman dressed in black. It was a close race, but Poliahu was winning. Then her challenger stood up on her sled while her robe and eyes turned blaring red. It was Pele, the goddess of fire. Surrounded by sulfurous fumes, Poliahu began to head out of control towards a crevice that appeared in the earth. Pele stamped her foot, and molten lava spurted out along the crack. Pele's leaping lava formed a now fiery fountain directly in the path of Poliahu's speeding sled. Poliahu's sled plunged through the wall of fire for a burning hot lava river racing toward her. Poliahu was unmoved. A blast of icy wind swept down the mountain, shivering the flames of the fire goddess until her fire fountains dwindled. Then a deadly lava river flowed toward the feet of the snow goddess. But she flung her arms wide and split the lava river in two. The lava passed on either side of Poliahu while she stood calmly on the center, unharmed. The story concludes, Pele never again crossed over Mauna Kea to Poliahu's side of the island. Poliahu's calmness pacified the power of Pele.
Okay, can I tell you what the story is really about?
Sure.
Here's the allegory. Anytime you're dealing with red, you're dealing with emotions. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you're dealing with snow or ice or whatever the case may be, which will make sense of just ice and in just ice,
mm-hmm.
You know, off ice, office justice, you know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with that, what you're dealing with is the cold, hard truth, divine feminine. Now, what you just described allegorically, when you look at it from the mystical perspective, is the ego, the emotions, flaring up, the red-hot lava. That's the divide, right? When you said about the splitting, that was the divide of the divine feminine, divine masculine. And what the story allegorically says is the reason why Pele will never cross the mountain again, that's the mountain of truth, is because she can't. The emotions will never find truth. What the truth is, what's the snow goddess's name? Pelelahu?
Poliahu.
Poliahu. Poliahu is the divine feminine of creation, is the truth. The pure, as pure as the driven snow. You've heard that, right? Allegorically, the snow is truth. That is the right hemisphere, and the division again. Now, if you humor me, if you could, maybe read, start it again, that story, and give it a sentence or two, and I will show you allegorically what is being said.
Okay. Do you want to hear their interpretation, Kate? How they go on to interpret it first?
Actually, no.
Hear the story?
I want to
okay.
go. I want to go raw, and then what I'll do is the interpretation. I'll break it down allegorically as well.
Okay. Great.
I'm going to test myself. Watch. Let's go. Let's play.
Okay. Poliahu was challenged to a sled race by a beautiful woman dressed in black.
There's the divine void.
Mm-hmm. It was a close race, but Poliahu was winning. Then her challenger stood up on her sled while her robe and eyes turned blazing red.
There's there's Pele. That's the emotions, the ego.
Mm-hmm. The goddess of fire.
Goddess of fire.
Surrounded.
Now, also the fire is thought. That's the Prometheus fire, Promethean fire. What that is saying, that's the seed of thought or thoth that was planted. Right? That thought is ego. That's why if you want to escape here, you must have no thought. That's the only time Peleahu can actually speak to you. Until then, you are deafened by the din of Pele.
Mm-hmm.
So carry on.
Poliahu began to head out of control towards a crevice that appeared in the earth. Pele stomped her foot, and molten lava spurted out along the crack. Pele's leaping lava formed a fiery fountain directly in the path of Poliahu's speeding sled. Poliahu's sled plunged through the wall of fire, but a burning hot lava river raced toward her. Poliahu was unmoved. A blast of icy wind swept down the mountain, shivering the flames of the fire goddess until her fire fountains dwindled.
Only truth can calm emotion.
Mm-hmm. Then a deadly lava river flowed towards the feet of the snow goddess. She flung her arms wide and split the lava river in two. The lava passed on either side
parting of the Red Sea?
Sea.
That's the parting of the Red Sea, by the way, which is passing through, as Moses did with the Red Sea. That's an allegory of passing through. Bill Donahue does a much better description of this. But the only way you can get to truth is to pass through, and that's the division of the left and right hemispheres of the brain. That's what it's representative of. And only when those can be reunited can we become one. And the only way we can do that is through Peleahu, truth. And it must be unwavering. It must have no doubts. And only the cold, hard truth can silence the emotions, turn the lava into rock. Keep going. This is beautiful.
Oh, and the rain is coming down with thunder and lightning now, Kate.
Mm-hmm. There's truth upon you with the force of Jesus, baby. Oh, and I got to do a quick shout out to Zach and his lovely wife. They had a baby boy on July 4th, and from what I hear, I mean, the whole fucking country celebrated. They had fireworks and everything. Everyone had party. Look at how important Zach's baby is. They just, wow, that's just amazing. Congratulations, Zach. Zach, by the way, is Verdict Productions. He's the individual responsible for taking all of these shows and putting them into YouTube format, which you can get on YouTube/Kate of Gaia, or youtube.com/Kate of Gaia. And everything is there if you want any of the archives, and he puts titles on them, which I don't do. I love him. He listens to every episode, and he titles it what he knows it to be about. He's scored 100% every time. So anyway, carry on, hon. This is beautiful.
Okay, then the lava passed on either side of Poliahu while she stood calmly in the center, unharmed.
Sounds like centering oneself, maybe? If you get centered, when you find your 0 point, unconditional love, and you get silent and calm in the peace within yourself, doesn't matter what passes on either side of you, it will go unnoticed because you are in perfect power. This is what we all are trying to share now. Man, you have inspired me because you just brought an entire different culture in with the same story that everyone else is saying that I'm unaware of. Now it's in my mouth. So carry on, keep going. Look at you, all-star.
Yep. I said the story concludes that Pele never crossed Mauna Kea again.
And now Mauna Kea is the boundary between the right and left hemispheres. Only when we go east, when we become the tribe of Judah, the children of the light, that numbered 186,400, coincidentally the speed of light, miles per hour. Only when you go across the river of lava, water, whatever the case may be, in this case it's truth anyway, will you find the light of yourself. Only when you still the thoughts within, when you shut down the tricky little bastard and say, no, I got this. It's okay, Mom's got me. Mother Eagle has me, and I will not hit the ground. I know. She told me. So what's the interpretation?
Well, their interpretation is Poliahu is the snow goddess whose gentle caress can calm the fury of fire. She teaches us how to be victorious in the most turbulent of times and situations. She possesses the strength that comes from immovable stillness. Immovable stillness allows your opponents to burn up their own energy while you do nothing at all. All you have to do is stand your ground.
Yeah, you see, and for me that was a very literal and very egocentric based interpretation. because it didn't pass anywhere beyond the literal of what the characters were. So let's take that same interpretation. Once you understand mystically what fire is, when you understand what water or ice, whatever the case, it's all water, and what it is actually trying to show you, and to take that interpretation to its core, yes, you will become immovable because you are directly connected with Source. Because you are still. You are in a condition of wu wei, the art of doing without doing. That is being cause instead of effect. Because when we feel we need to do something physically, we are actually at effect to the physical, thinking we can solve it physically. You cannot. That's the spiral. That's the snake eating its own tail. So what we need to do is exactly what the original, and I mean, I'll break down the interpretation the same way I did the mystical, the story. And you see how important these stories are? I mean, you can give me, and it was funny because I was listening to someone tell me a native story the other day, and I'm listening to it, and I know exactly what it's saying, and then I hear people try to describe it from a literal perspective, from the egocentric, and you cannot. Because what you're doing is you're saying the same thing over, just a little differently, you're saying the same thing with different words, and you're missing the point of it. This is why people like Santo and Bill and so many others that have taken it to its mystic roots. This is why we can never forget, because we tell the stories, whether it's an Aboriginal story or Native North American or Hawaiian Native or whatever the case may be, Celtic folklore, Welsh folklore, Irish, Scottish, it doesn't matter, East Indian, it's all the same story, so that we would never miss it. That's why it was told in allegory. Because when languages change, and they do, when they morph, the picture never shifts. That's why metaphors and allegories are the most powerful thing. I mean, one of the things, and I had to laugh. Excuse me. I was at a songwriting thing years back, workshops and whatever, and one of the individuals that was part of the team leading the workshops had came out and said, emphatically that, if you're going to write songs, you need to, and I forget one of the songs they had written. It was a hit song, right? It was pure metaphor. He said, well, what you need to do as a songwriter is you need to avoid at all costs metaphors. And I said, that's when, of course, the mouthy bitch opens up and says, beg your pardon? So, well, and can I remember the song? It was just like probably mid-90s. Anyway, I proceeded to just go, oh, well, what's this? It was a couple of lines. It was a metaphor in the song, the one they wrote. And the whole bloody song was metaphor. I said, what, are you afraid of competition? Is that why you're telling the rest of us not to use them? I use them all the time. That's the only thing I write with, metaphor and prose. Pro se. For himself, for herself, itself. Creator is a poet. That's why I speak in prose. That's why I speak in allegory. I speak in metaphor. I've spent a lifetime training myself for it, remembering it. And I'll tell you, Lee, this is the only reason I can do what I do right now. This is why I followed the path I did. But more importantly, I saw that. And I cannot urge everyone more than to know thyself. You have a most beautiful, glorious yellow brick road. And did you notice at the beginning of when Dorothy and Toto first arrived, of course, they did all the la lollipop gang and all, whatever. Lollipop guild. What are the odds? Anyway, after the Wicked Witch leaves, she has her red slippers on, and Glinda's there, and she walks her over to the center of the square, which is kind of funny because it's circular. But anyway. Why do they call it a square? It's never a square. But anyway, walks her over, and go ahead, have a look at the scene. It's YouTube. It's Wizard of Oz Munchkin scene. And look where she starts. Isn't it funny that one of the roads is gold, rather. It's a gold road. Truth. That's your aura. A-U, symbol for gold. Ra, you, the light of God. Your golden light of God. That's why they call it auras. So she started in the middle, but what was the counter spiral that was going masculine counterclockwise? What color was that? It was red. Did anyone notice the red road? Do you see what I'm saying? This is with me. It's about looking at. Yeah, right. So this is about looking at the mirror. Okay, while you're staring at the yellow brick road, what's the contrast? Oh, it's red. That's emotions. And that's the only thing that's going to spin you back to the same point every time. Your emotions, your no motions, your stops, your octagonal stop signs. Get on the road and walk it. Where Dorothy started in Toto, of course, there's your door of God, Dorotheos. Toto, which is Toto Jeannery, full character. That's the spirit, divine feminine, right hemisphere, Dorothy. That's your door home. And Toto, and you got to get into your full character. You got to get rid of the mindless one, the ego. You've got to put your unconditional heart in, right? See, the allegory of the Tin Man in the mirror was he thought he needed a heart all along. At the end of the movie, did the wizard put a heart inside of the Tin Man, or did he pin it on his chest? It was a watch. It was a heart-shaped watch. He pinned it on his chest. Why? Because the Tin Man was already an empty vessel. You must be an empty vessel. The unconditional heart is infinite. And it can only be an external. You must be the empty vessel. And of course, like Dorothy did, she had to bitch slap her cowardly lion. And she did. And what happened after he's roar, 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 slap after he came after Toto. And he's like, why'd you hit me? That's how delicate the ego is. That's how delicate we end up being when we're in fear. Don't worry, Mother Eagle has you. She will catch you. Step out of the nest. Dare to be you. Follow your yellow brick road. Stop circling back on the red. That's the emotion. You'll get down the yellow brick road so far. And did you notice, though, that when she got so far away from it, the red road disappeared. There was no more emotions. There was no more time for it. But remember that. Counterclockwise is masculine. That's why the Earth is heading counterclockwise right now. That's the allegory. And that's not, guys, I'm speaking to the men. This is not about male. This is about energy. This is the prodigal son electrical. You are merely an allegory of it. You have both. You are both. You are absolute divine in both forms. All right? So we need to see the contrast. So, and I know all the guys I talk to get it. They get it because they know who they are. But don't allow yourself to go counterclockwise. It'll take you back. We're trying to expand outward here, and that's the clockwise. Door comes out clockwise. The divine feminine. Only in the divine feminine, in balance with the divine masculine. You got to get the emotion under control. Let's go back to the line that the wife must be subservient to the husband. Taken literally means that all women are second-rate citizens, persons, beings, entities to the man, the husband. No, that's not. That's literal. Allegorical and mystically speaking means wife, anything feminine in this regard. See how it works both ways? It's quadrupolar, guys. And it takes a bit to be able to see it, but I do, and I know most of you do. So give yourself some time. Don't be so hard on yourself. That's your ego beating you up. The emotions must be subservient to the mind, because in this case, the mind is the masculine. And the allegory there is to know that there is both positive and negative in feminine energy, and positive and negative in masculine energy. That's why the heart is four-chambered. That's why your star chamber is four-chambered. The allegory, as I pointed out in one of the essays recently, Ulster is the fourth and last chamber of the heart of Gaia, Ireland, as an allegory that still has a boot on it that's getting removed, right? Once that happens, the whole heart beats. This game it's already over. I see it unfolding. It's beautiful. But is any of this helpful?
Oh, indeed, Kate.
You know, when you start seeing the allegories, and when you stop taking things so literally, when you stop getting caught up in the emotional quagmire of see here, and this is the problem with this place. Talk about a perfect trap. The minute I hear about a train derailment, my first reaction is not of, I know they're characters in my movie. It's not me. I didn't experience it. I didn't feel it. I'm not going to get wrapped up in the movie anymore. Only because I care that much. Not because I don't care. I do. Because if I get caught up in the movie, it's just going to keep happening. And I'd rather it not happen that way any longer. So I have to take the tough stand and go, it's not because I don't care about people that may have been hurt or whatever. Of course I do. I care enough to not let it happen again. That's not something I would do again. You know my two questions. Is that something I would do or something I would not do? So when we see the allegories of these things for what they truly are, while you may appear heartless, you are actually heartful. Because I see a bigger picture. I see a grander game. I see a more beautiful universe than the one that we have piling in around us every single day, where it's so many of our points of consciousness are at complete effect to someone else's cause. What I'm trying to share is to show you how to become that spiritual cause again. You most glorious, glorious entity, you perfect creation of universe. I know you are, because you are me. And I will not think less of you, because if I do, then I'm thinking less of me. And I am working my best. And I've had a hell of a road getting here to actually learn to love myself. And I assure you, being in this forum, at least I'll speak from my perspective, what an impossible task. Did it though. And I'm getting better every day. That's why we're seeing these beautiful things transpire. So we got about say 4 minutes left here. So guys, any final thoughts from you? All ears. Okay. Ninja, you got any final comments you want to make?
No, not really. It's just a great show as usual, and
yeah, we took it up a notch.
You seem to be in your element, so that's always nice to hear.
Oh, that's what happens when that's why I need peace. I don't need interbulation around me anymore. Because when I'm in peace, this is what I do. So anyone looking for a hot blonde to go on a date with, give me a call. 226-971-9675. That's my cell, or Skype me. And I don't care what you are. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be, and it doesn't matter. Talk about an open heart, eh? Oh my God. I found open sea finally. I found the open sea. Look, come sail away. Tell you what, I'll finish on a song. We'll see where it ends up tonight, because we got about 3 minutes, a little over 3 minutes here. So, any particular choice there, anyone?
How about Bayou Lullaby?
I can do that. All right, we'll close off with Bayou Lullaby. So much love to all, and you're most welcome. Thank you. So we'll catch you tomorrow night, and let's have a real good time tomorrow night again. Much love to everyone. Good night. We'll finish with Bio.
All of you.
You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now it's our turn.
Hush now softly, can't you hear? Mockingbird, she must be near. She sings her song, the Bayou Lullaby. Misty morning, lazy sun, broken only by the river run. Mississippi River, take me in your arms. Take me in your arms for just another day. Floating by, I can clearly see Baton Rouge to eternity, New Orleans backwards into time. The Delta blues are more than song, broken dreams long lost and gone like a cotton field, laying falling by the wind. But that's the way it is, that's the way it is. Wouldn't want it any other way. Friendly smiles enough to say, yeah, it'll be alright, and I don't have to worry none. Friendly word on a passing way makes southern sense when I'm away, and I'm just glad I'm back where I belong, I'm back where I belong. All my worries, all my fears, up and leave me, they just disappear. Like so much nothing, so much for taking time. 'Cause on the water or on the shore, this is home and so much more. Old man river, take me in your arms, take me in your arms. I'm home sweet home again.
Video provided by verdictproductions.com.